Can you hear me? Perfect. All right, everybody, can we please give a round of applause to Track Dogs, please?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Amazing performance.
Thank you.
Firstly, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Diego Rubio. I am the co-president of the IE Entrepreneurship Club. And alongside Stati and Emily, I'm very pleased to be one of your Master of Ceremonies for the evening. Let's start first. Welcome, everyone, to IE Venture Day 2021. Today actually marks the first time that IE Venture Day takes place at the Tower, which is the symbol of the pride that we have as the premier advocates of entrepreneurship in Europe and around the world. Today, after many months and even years of hard work, 10 Venture Lab finalists and 16 runners-up will be presenting to you and a jury of over 15 investors in what promises to be an exciting evening full of innovative ideas and especially the thrill of competing for some of the prizes that we have lined up for you today. Who will win today's Venture Day? Which of the startups present today will shape the world tomorrow? These and many more questions will be answered throughout the course of the evening. And now, to officially kick things off, I would like to invite a very special guest on stage. As Vice President of Finance at IE University, and also Chairman at the IE Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, this man is responsible for driving many of the values that we strive towards as entrepreneurs. He has been working at IE for over 11 years, and today will be joining us to kick off this event. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you Juan Jose Guamis.
Thank you very much, Diego, Tati, and Emily for organizing Venture Days together with Anik. So we have been waiting a long time for this day, to have Venture Days in IE Tower. When Paris and I founded Venture Days too many years ago, maybe Paris, we were convinced that it was going to be something big. Something big. We created Venture Days to celebrate your passion, or our passion, in entrepreneurship and innovation, and also to proudly introduce some of the best startups of the semester to specialized investors and to the IE University entire community. And since the very first edition of Venture Days, all IE spaces were too small. And then we had to ask Fundación Rafael del Pino to use its auditorium very close to our campus in María de Molina. And this is the venue where, for the last 7-8 years, we have had Venture Days, the place where many students, hundreds of Venture Lab teams, took the stage and pitched their startups to the community of entrepreneurs and investors. Today, I want to thank, once again, as I've been doing for the last 8 years, to Fundación Rafael del Pino, their generosity and their support to celebrate Venture Days. And also to remember the great entrepreneur who was the founder of Fundación Rafael del Pino and Ferrovial, Don Rafael del Pino. Right after graduating, Rafael del Pino found an innovative way to build railways, and he had the audacity to compete with the big guys in such a tough and competitive industries such as construction. Within a few years, he made the leap into international markets, something that he had in mind since the very early stage of his company. And today, Ferrovial is one of the biggest infrastructure managers in the world. They manage from Heathrow Airport to highways, hospitals, water plants in the 5 continents. Almost nothing really worthwhile happens overnight, but a vision goes a long way. While negotiating the contract of this new campus, we had this day in mind. Many of you will experience in the coming years that nothing happens overnight, but it is worth to keep working on it, and collect the fruits. IE alumnus Maini, like Rafael Del Pino, was bold enough a little bit more than 10 years ago to compete in the telecommunications industry. You may think with Telefonica, with Deutsche Telekom, and so on. But 10 years later, he has one of the leading telco companies in Spain. It is a publicly listed company and very successful and growing. Another alumnus, Bernard, founded Busu 10 years ago while he was taking his international MBA at IE University, together with 3 other alumni. This week, we have learned that Bernard and his partners has exited the company for more than $400 million. He disrupted the edtech space, he had a vision, and 10 years later, he made a great exit. But most importantly, what Bernard did is giving access to tens of millions of language learners all over the world the chance to learn languages and communicate with others. It was the impact. He has a giant impact on so many people giving access. If you think about it seriously, the only KPI that really matters in education is the impact on each individual. Not even how many individuals you reach, but the impact on every individual, on each of you. And when we try to measure our impact, when we try to understand what we are, we simply look at your impact, not only as professionals, but also as human beings. That's the mirror where we look at ourselves every day and where we find answers to the questions that we may be wondering. I'm sure that maybe in 10 years from now, many of myself, the one who is in my place, will be saying some of your names and celebrating your impact as we celebrate today, Maini and Bernard impact. At the last edition of the Venture Day, we celebrated that Venture Day, Venture Lab, under Paris leadership. Paris, say hi, please. Listen to this. We celebrated that under Paris leadership, Venture Lab had accelerated more than 1,500 startups in 11 years, and that's a great achievement. But only since then, since the last summer, when we had the last edition of the Venture Day, a lot of things happened that I like to celebrate today, and I like to thank not only to Paris, but also to Rachida, to Enik, to Alison, and the faculty, mentors, investors who are always with us, and everyone made it happen. In the last few weeks, IE University has been recognized as the first in Europe for entrepreneurial studies by Bloomberg, 5th best MBA program for entrepreneurship globally by Poets and Juan, and the last one that we learned about this week, IE University just made the top 25 universities for founders according to PitchBook, a ranking which is based on the number of founders whose companies have received a first round of venture funding. 3.3 billion raised by 146 founders in the last 16 years, and I'm sure that they are missing someone. You may understand how proud I feel of my team. Please, a big hand to all of them. If you look at the institutions next to which IE University appears in these rankings, you will find that all of them were founded more than 200 years ago. One of them was founded 1,000 years ago, and it's very likely it is the oldest organization created by human beings existing today. Don Diego del Alcázar founded IE University half a century ago, and his vision was and still is that a business school, a university, should serve to train not just leaders of existing organizations, but leaders capable of creating their own and impacting in the world around them. Entrepreneurial leaders. Today, every day, for the last 11 years, what we have seen in Venture Lab, not only those of you who make the Venture Lab or make the finance, but every one of you made his dream or dream come true. Thank you very much. Let us celebrate entrepreneurship.
Thank you, Juan, for that. Well, my name is Tati Nkoveni, and before we get started, I would like to congratulate all the startups for your hard work. All those late night coffees, arguments, reiterating has finally paid off, and today marks just one of the milestones in your entrepreneurial journey. Well, we've got the runner-ups that will be coming up, and first up will be Kailari. Just so you know, this startup basically helps all the hospitality industry individuals, the Latin American ones specifically in Spain, to gain valuable life skills. And just so you know, the meaning of the startup's name is actually an Ecuadorian greeting, which means it's a salute that entrepreneurs use from one entrepreneur to another. Without further ado, let's welcome Kayari to the stage.
For many of us in this room, becoming an entrepreneur is a choice. But for Latin American immigrants, it's about survival. The problem is evident. The lack of financial knowledge prevents many of them to provide successful businesses within the hospitality industry. Now imagine a market size of over 5 million Latin American entrepreneurs within an accelerator that supports them with financial and managerial skills, casting a light over the poor financial education that reflects on the stability and scalability of food entrepreneurs. Welcome to Kayari, a platform that supports business opportunities and financial inclusion. Clients come, they pay a responsible sign-up fee, and they create credibility to investors, creating social impact. Now meet Miguel Angel Mendez and his son Michael. They came 25 years ago to Spain looking for an opportunity, but these two didn't have to because they created it. And in adversity, there is always room for transformation, growth, and impact. This is what you both taught me. Help me preserve the cultural heritage and entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kayari. Imagine being stressed and busy and looking for something to snack on that's healthy but tasty. Well, our next startup didn't just imagine it, they did something about it. Let's welcome Wise Food to the stage to tell us more about it. 1, 2, 3.
Aren't you tired of eating apples when looking for a healthy snack? That's why we have created Wise Foods, your guilt-free snacking brand. With the snacks so good, you guys will think they are bad for you. We will be launching our Braca chips, which are low in sugar, low in carb, keto-friendly, and gluten-free. But why now and why us? We want to take advantage of the healthy trend. The Spanish snacking market is worth over 300 million, and is expected to grow over 7% next year. The big players, such as PepsiCo, are already in the game, making acquisitions of smaller brands like ours for over $2 billion. So, with our backgrounds in product development in the food industry, marketing, and finance, we want to disrupt the Spanish food industry. So join us in this wiser, healthier food path. Thank
Thank you, Wise Food. I'll be waiting for my sample in the mailbox soon. Well, next up, we've got Paris, the MD of Venture Lab, as well as Jeffrey Cha, here to talk to us about the role of technology. Oh, okay, so I'm mistaken. There's another startup that's coming up before that called The Movement.
2, 3.
$57 billion. That's what the online fitness world is expected to be valued by 2027, with appearance, wellness, and personal training being the key drivers. Now, with the right ingredients and a great platform such as ours, success in this niche is imminent. With only 3 weeks since pre-launching the Movement Fitness, we've gathered over 250 subscribers across Mexico, Colombia, Spain, and Panama at an average membership price of $21, meaning that we're expecting to close our first month of operations with $6,000 in profits and covering our initial investment. How, you may ask yourself? With the use of an already existing platform, one that all of you use and that is free of cost to us, Instagram. Meaning every single follower of the movement is a paying subscriber of the movement itself. These are able to enjoy weekly lives, countless routines, and exercises guided by fashion model, influencer, and trainer Andrea Buric. So we found the recipe for success. Now I'm adding more ingredients, more personal trainers, and more private accounts. The possibilities are limitless. So ladies and gentlemen, the question is, are you ready to join the movement? My name is Pedro Vallarino, co-founder of the movement, and I appreciate your time.
2, 3.
Dear audience, as international students, some of you might know that the world of foreign remittances is very complex to navigate, especially for those who want to avoid those unnecessary costs and setbacks in the process. If this sounds like a problem that you identify with, then look no further, because the next startup presents a perfect solution for that. Can we please enjoy the next video pitch presented to you by a team from all around the world, Cash Easy.
Back in August, our team was in Dubai when we met several Indian expats that moved to Dubai to fulfill their dreams. But they needed to send money back to their families on a regular basis. And for every $100 they wanted to repeat with India, they only sent about 90. We gathered data that shows that 99% of them are more aware of how much they will lose for real things. We want to change the current narrative. Kashizi has been established with the vision to build a financially literate world and a mission to make foreign remittances easier, faster, transparent, and cost-effective for everyone. Kashizi is the solution for this, and we intend to start by rolling out a service within the UAE India program.
Ladies and gentlemen, excuse us for the technical difficulties. We will now move on with the next startup. Now, you've heard of Instagram, you've heard of Facebook, you've heard of Snapchat, but whoever heard of a social media platform that caters to you specifically as a student or university professor? Well, you'll hear it here first, because the next startup coming up does exactly that thing. Can we please welcome on stage our first undergraduate startup team, Share the Story.
2, 3. Hello, everybody. My name is Gabriele, and this is Share the Story. The thoughts and ideas of our generation are being overshadowed by the superficiality of social media content and social and peer pressure. Share a Story creates a community of leaders, potentially bridging 200 million students, educators, and invited thinkers to connect, network, and publish their content. As endorsed by peers from 125 universities, today's youth demands a platform for authentic expression, with no sense of competing lifestyles or professional experiences. With a freemium model and in-app purchases will abolish anonymity and leverage the power of intellectual and educational content creation. Because let me ask you this, is what we have now really the best we can do? Like many others, we don't think so. Join us in revolutionizing social networking. Share a story, share your story. Thank you. 2,
3, Thank you, share your story. Wow, let me try that again. Next up, we've got the CEO, Jeffrey Cha of Soho, a serial entrepreneur, as well as Paris, the MD of VentureLab, here to talk to us about the role of technology in sustainable future. Please welcome on stage.
All right, Jeff. Social distance, right. Okay, I have to be totally honest here in full disclosure. I've known Jeff for about 10 years. I met him in Japan, and since then, we've become good friends, and he's managed to decide to come and teach here at IE. He's actually teaching an elective next spring, hopefully. And you'll hear more about that. So Jeff, the role of our tech, nice, good.
Thank you.
Now the band is doing support work here, right?
Full service.
All right, thanks guys. So, can you see me? All right. So we're going to talk about the role of technology in a sustainable world. Jeff, you're an avid investor, and over the last few years, you've spent a lot of time in renewable energy. Talk to me a little bit about why you got into the renewable energy space, especially in a country that isn't really that well known for renewable energy. Jeff is originally from Hawaii. That's the other thing we have in common, that I spend a lot of time there. Grew up in Hawaii, then was a serial entrepreneur in Silicon Valley, and then ended up going to Japan. So why renewable energy?
Okay, well, thank you for having me. So for me, living in Japan, we have a very heavy reliance on nuclear energy. So up until the nuclear accident at Fukushima, nuclear was about 30% of our total generation capacity, and the rest was from about 6% from hydro, and everything else was fossil fuel. After the nuclear accident, we switched completely to fossil fuel. And so instead of improving and reducing our carbon footprint, we've actually increased it. And so for me, that was a big problem. And I thought there's got to be a better way to do this. And about 5 years ago, I got into renewable energy, and I've been focusing on that ever since.
Okay. Now, what do you tell people? I mean, we're both from, you're a baby boomer, right? Yeah, we're both baby boomers. Although my students think I'm a millennial trapped in the body of a baby boomer. So for us, it's all about money. You know, when we were growing up, it wasn't about giving back or doing good or impact or anything like that. How do you what do you tell somebody that is like, you know, this sustainable stuff? I mean, what is this? Does it make any sense as a business person to be sustainable? What do you tell someone like that?
Okay, well, I think when you and I were growing up and when we were starting our first business, everything was about shareholder value and generating profits, and that I think greed is good was kind of the mantra. And sustainability wasn't even a word in the vocabulary.
So it wasn't that they were against it, it was that it was irrelevant, didn't matter. All that mattered was generating profits and making money. Today, things are different, and I think sustainability is actually, though, just another way of making money, and that it is profit-driven, and if it's not profit-driven, it won't be sustainable, in a sense. But I think the word sustainability has taken on a lot of other nuances in terms of, clean energy or clean air or food or whatnot. But really, to me, you need to generate a profit, and that doesn't mean to maximize profits, but that means to generate enough money so that you can keep doing what you're already doing. And I think sustainability is actually just a long-term view of that. Because in the old days, in our generation, I think profitability was viewed from a short-term maximization. And if you created any negative attributes or externalities, it was okay. That wasn't your problem. And I think when you look at things from a sustainability viewpoint, you still need to have profits, otherwise you can't keep doing what you're doing, but it has to be long-term. And if it's not long-term, if it's not really sustainable, then it's not worth doing.
So is greed still good?
I think that's a saying. It's kind of one of those over-the-top explanations to get people, it's a nice phrase or a kind of a what's the English for it? It's a catchphrase, basically. And it never was good. It's just that was kind of the religion that was preached. And I think really when you and I were starting our careers, things were much more short-term viewed. To me, it's just a time issue, whether you're looking at the short term or the long term. And I think we overly focused on the short term back in the 80s and 90s. And now I think there's a much more balanced approach and view on how life should be and how we should live, and that it's a more long-term approach.
Okay. Speaking of the 80s and 90s, in the 80s, I was an investment banker. You were a lawyer, right? Also investment banker? So what's the craziest thing that you did in the 80s, professionally?
This is not being recorded, is it?
This is on YouTube.
Well, my wife watches YouTube, so I should be careful.
What's the craziest thing representative of the culture that we were living in those days?
It really was short term. We were only worried about the next day. We were worried about that day and the next day.
What thing did you do?
Never go home.
Never go home.
Yeah, work 24/7, right? And think that was a good thing, and actually brag about that as being a good thing or something.
Well, the craziest thing I did, we were in New York at the bank, and I decided I wanted to eat pizza from Chicago. So we actually flew it in and had the client paid for it.
Statute of limitations. It's no longer. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. Let's go back to, speaking of investment banking, are there any of you here that are thinking of making a career in investment banking or management consulting or private equity or VC? Yeah, there's a few. What do you think about that nowadays with everything that's going on? Do you think people should still be thinking about things like investment banking?
I think it's an individual decision. Back in our day, when you were graduating, it seemed like the entire class was going into finance and consulting. It's right for certain people, but I think for most people, even the people I know who went into it, did not stay in it. So it was kind of a stepping stone. Very few people that I know are still doing it. People who joined and did that have made a career of it. It's a great way to pay off your student debt because you get paid a lot and you have no time to spend it. But it's a terrible lifestyle. It's really, it destroys your personal life. I mean, you have no personal life when you're doing it.
How long was your stepping stone?
How long was
your stepping stone? How long did you spend in investment banking?
I spent 2 years in banking and then 6 or 7 years as a lawyer, doing similar things. So just
8
kind of
years.
change seats at the same table.
Yeah. I spent 21 years. That's why my hair is grayer and I have less hair than you.
You're a slower learner.
All right. Let's talk about another subject here, Jeff, that, you know, one of the things that we don't see enough of nowadays is critical thinking. And we talked about that earlier. What do you think the biggest challenge today is to critical thinking?
Oh boy, it really depends where you're coming from, I think. I'm coming from Japan, so our educational system is very much about cramming knowledge into the heads of children without teaching them critical thinking skills. So for us in Japan, it's a huge issue for the entire society. We don't have enough critical thinkers, and that's really necessary. On the other hand, having grown up in the US, we have a lot of critical thinkers that don't have much knowledge to use to think critically. So that's another problem. I think here there's a better balance between the two.
Yeah, we have, you know, when you have as much diversity as we have here at IE, you got a lot of different thoughts, and that's critical to an education. Let's go back a minute to the role of technology in a sustainable world. I like what you said about, because a lot of people come to me at the Venture Lab and they say, I want to do a nonprofit or I want to do something, a social enterprise. Can we do it in the Venture Lab? And I essentially tell them, if you want to do a nonprofit, come into the Venture Lab, make it really for profit, make a ton of money, and then give it away. Because if you don't have that culture of, you know, creating value, whether you're a profit or nonprofit, you know, when you make money, you're creating value, hopefully. I mean, at least someone thinks you're creating value. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would agree with it, but I would look at it a little bit differently. Number one, the term nonprofit, I hate. I think that's just a misnomer. You know, in where I'm from, nonprofit should mean non-taxed, right? If you don't make a profit, it could be even €1, that's fine. But if you don't make a profit, you can't stay in business. You can't continue doing what you're doing. So making a profit, to me, is a requirement. The nonprofit aspect is merely whether you're paying taxes or not. So I think the term nonprofit should be thrown away, and they should change it and give the entities a different name, maybe a non-taxable entity or something like that would be more appropriate. But really, even if you're trying to do something that has a large social benefit, you need to make a profit. €1 is enough, but you need to make a profit, otherwise you go out of business.
And tell us more about what do you think the technology, what role do you see in technology for the next few years in terms of this sustainable wave that we're seeing?
So technology, and we've always had technology. I think the impact of the technology is increasing, and it's increasing exponentially. So I think when I look back at, say, 20 years ago, and you look at the most valuable companies in the world, 1 or 2 of them actually had technology involved at the core of their business and had scaled up because of that. But if you look at the 10 most valuable companies today, 8 of them have technology as one of the core things of their business. The business model is predicated on the use of technology, the incorporation of technology. They would not be able to do business without it. That is very different from the old days. So in terms of sustainability, the technology allows you to scale better, to have more network effects, to reach a broader audience, to lower your cost, all of these great things, but only if you design it into your business model correctly.
So what advice do you give these students here who many of them or most of them are not coming from technology? We don't have a lot of technology yet here in the school. And they're looking to develop startups that are going to be sustainable.
Make friends. Find friends who are good at technology. Again, you can drive a car. I'm assuming most of you here drive a car, but I doubt that you know how to take it apart and put it together. So the same with technology. You don't have to be the engineer on everything. But in your company, you should probably have some people who can actually do it. And so having a diverse team, meeting people here, friends of friends, whatnot. Branching out and having a diverse team is really important, but you need to have somebody on the team who really understands the technology. But your job as somebody who maybe is not as strong in technology would be more in terms of developing the business model and incorporating the technology. How can you use it to solve problems? How can you use it to scale?
Do you think that sometimes that's much more valuable than being the technology person on the team?
Definitely. I mean, if you are the tech person, that's great, but keeping up with technology, I mean, the pace of change is just breathtaking. I mean, when we were in school, I studied computer science, but I would be committing malpractice today if I tried to program something because I learned on mainframes, right? I learned COBOL and Fortran 77, and you know, these old languages that nobody knows. I can't program today, but I understand kind of the general framework of how these technologies can be used. And I rely on much younger and smarter people to help me keep abreast of the latest technologies and then to incorporate it into our business.
Yeah, and I think one point that I'd like to finalize with in a way is, both of us started as computer scientists with mainframes and Fortran and Pascal. Remember Pascal? And we never used that again. And then you became a lawyer, investment banker. I became an investment banker. Now we're doing things that are pretty different. But everything that you learn in your life is a skill set. And you never, these things give you a discipline for doing work. So, a lot of you guys are pretty young. You're still probably under 30 or 30 to 35. People come and tell me, when should I start taking my work seriously? I think it's between 30 and 35. Statistically, if you haven't made your first million by 35, it's going to be a lot harder after that. And so, you need to use those years. And these stepping stones that we're talking about are very important because there's nothing wrong with being a management consultant for a few years or an investment banker. What you're going to learn during those 3 years could be priceless as you develop your career going forward. You end up doing things that you really enjoy doing. You want to add to that?
Yeah, no, I think that's very true. Also, building your network while you're doing something else is also important. Meeting more people, and saving whatever obscene amounts of salary you get, that's very good for the future. Having that nest egg when you go out and then later try to become an entrepreneur and take more risk. Having that savings enables you to take more risk, I think. But yeah, they're stepping stones.
Great. And so remember, Jeff Char, he'll be teaching hopefully an elective in the IMBA. You'll have a unique opportunity to, spend a lot of time with him, hopefully. And thank you again for coming so often to the school.
Thank you. Thank you, Paris. Thank you, Jeffrey, for a very interesting conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying the afternoon so far. We will now move on to the second group of pitches, 1-minute pitches. The future has finally arrived to the restaurant industry, as can be shown by this next startup, which seeks to implement innovative, sustainable solutions to those businesses that want to optimize their ingredient selection. Please welcome on stage Terrace Lab.
In the next 60 seconds, more than 5 million kilograms of food will be consumed, and global population will increase by 140 people. This rate of population growth and food consumption is stressing even more our agricultural sector, meaning that the access to and the traceability for the high quality food is even more difficult. That is why we at Terrace Lab, we are presenting a new way to see and to escalate urban vertical farming. Inspired by Ghost Kitchen, we are introducing Urban Ghost Farm, an end-to-end solution for the hospitality sector. We want to provide the service to grow the highest quality food all year round. And we want to start here in Spain, to making it the global face of a more sustainable way to serve food. These 60 seconds are the first of Terrace Lab mission to democratize vertical farming to show where the food comes from. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Now, let's be honest. A lot of us have been through the pain of having to wear braces or wires on your mouth. If this is also a scarring memory in your own life, then this next startup will bring a smile to your face. Please, can we welcome on stage Gum Guardian? Rather, a video pitch by Gum Guardian. Excuse me.
Metal, resistant heat, I couldn't speak, and I was constantly dealing with bloody gums due to the irritation. Understanding that people with braces experience similar issues, we took to Reddit to see what solutions were currently on the market beyond the cardboard cutout I was using at home. Those solutions seemed insufficient, so with that, we created Gum Guard, which is a silicone gum guard that will help immediately relieve the pain for those experiencing mental health. There's currently 15 million people across the globe that receive braces every year. The dental wax market is expected to climb to 10 billion by 2027, and we're expecting 9 million in annual revenue of Gum Guard by 2026. We're asking for a $500,000 investment structured as a convertible note with a 20% discount. And with that, we're excited to offer the opportunity to join us as we change the lives of a million mental malnourished across the world. Thank you.
How many times have you asked a friend where they bought a specific clothing item, only to be disappointed by being told in Latin or some Europe boutique? Well, the next startup, X-Life, is doing something about it. They're giving emerging designers a place to showcase their goods, as well as an answer that your friend can give you next time you ask them that question. Let's welcome on stage X-Life.
2, 3.
What if I told you that Spain is the second largest destination for Latin American investment? Due to the political and economic instability in these countries, foreign investors have decided to diversify their assets to the Spanish market. Why is this? Is it because of the culture? Is it because of the stable markets? And so at AX Life, we solve this problem. What do? We're your one-stop shop real estate company handling all aspects of the transaction, from property management to the possibility of obtaining the golden visa. Why should you invest with us? 4 reasons. Number 1, the real estate team. Number 2, we have clients who are willing and able to invest. Number 3, we offer high profitability from day 1. And most importantly, we offer very low risk compared to our other startups. So thank you and invest in AX Life today.
2, 3.
Thank you, X-Life. Thanks to technology, our attention span is becoming shorter, but the list of skills we want to learn is becoming longer. Well, Sienna is here, and they're doing something about it to help us gain skills in bite sizes.
2, 3.
Why are some of the most intelligent people we know less successful than those who aren't? Is it by luck? Or maybe there is more to success than hard competencies and high IQ. We believe in helping people achieve their full potential by enhancing their soft competencies through continuous practice. How? By improving competencies such as communication, teamwork, and self-confidence. Skyena is a soft skill training program based on short acting exercises with measurable results. It involves physical workshops that will leverage on an online platform. We're targeting industries such as FMCG, hospitality, and services, and we have already completed our first pilot with Grupo Bimbo. And next week, we are meeting with PwC in order to discuss a future one. We're a team of 4 members. Together, we are Skyena. I would like to invite you to take your stage. Thank you.
Thank you, Sienna. If you're a startup and you want to raise funds, where would you go? Probably Kickstarter. But if you're an investor looking for a specific startup in ECG policies, where would you go? Well, Atlantis is here to tell us where you should go. Welcoming them.
3.
So COVID-19 is not the only pandemic that's affecting us. Impact washing and greenwashing is another pandemic that's affecting the finance industry. So here at Atlantis, we want to give you a solution for that. Asset managers will have a solution so that they can figure out whether what they're investing in is actually impact investing. With over $715 billion in funds and over a 40% year-on-year growth, this isn't a passing trend. This is a staple in the financial industry. We, our team, want to give you a solution where asset managers can go up on our platform and find investments that are actually impact investing. Thank you for your time.
3.
All right, everyone. Well, we actually have a surprise announcement. I've been told that Norman Curtis, the Vice Dean of Behavior and Human Development at IE, has come to give us a few words. So please, can we welcome on stage Mr. Norman Curtis?
Hello. Hi. It was also a surprise for me, so I'm happy to be here, though. So I'm Norman Curtis. I'm Dean of Programs of the Business School. Thank you to Paris and Anik and the whole team for inviting me to this event. As Juanjo mentioned before, you know that IE has been fomenting entrepreneurship for many years now, and we are recognized by the market and by many different stakeholders as one of the leaders in this domain. Today, we're very proud to hold this Venture Day here in the IE Tower. Of course, for the first time, it's a new tower. I'm sure for some of you, it might be the first time you come here. This is our learning tower, as we like to call it, and it's a symbol of what IE is all about. It's a symbol of our DNA. It's a symbol of what we think about the future of higher education. It's a symbol about what some people can do when they put their minds to it. Because 5-6 years ago, some of IE's leaders thought about what should we do about our facilities? What kind of campus should we have? What should we try to portray with that particular campus? Some people thought vertical campus. Why not? The campus of the future, sustainable, integrated, learning-oriented, incorporating tech and ed tech, and actually being a showcase of what education should be. And that's where we are, and we're very proud of this space, but it's only a space. At the end of the day, it's what we do with the space that matters, and events like this one make this campus alive. Now, you've all learned many amazing skills preparing your business plans and preparing your pitches. I'm sure that you all have a very entrepreneurial mindset now, and no matter what you choose to do next, whether it's to actually launch some of these startups and ideas that you've talked about today, or join other startups, or even join corporations for a while, I hope you will carry these skills and mindsets anywhere you choose to go. Congratulations to everybody who has participated in this Venture Day, and mostly, thank you for proudly representing IE University. Thank you very much.
All right, everybody. Next on stage is a familiar face to many of you. She is the director of the Venture Network, and also the Deputy Director at the Venture Lab here at IE University. She really has made everything that you see around you possible. Her hard work and dedication towards fostering entrepreneurship at IE is unmatched. And at this moment, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome on stage Annick Janssens. And now, it's time to open up our panel. Now, as entrepreneurs, many of you know just how competitive the world out there is. The market, competitors, sometimes even the people you trust the most are out there to get everything you have. Is there a ray of hope in this crude reality of ours? Well, that is the question that we want to answer today in this upcoming panel, Giving Back in a Competitive World, with the help, of course, of some of IE's greatest social entrepreneurs. Firstly, our first panelist is a high-impact and multi-award-winning entrepreneurship leader and public speaker. He is an alumnus of the Young African Leaders Initiative, the Investec Startup School, and McKinsey & Company University. Please welcome on stage Fenyo Makubela. Up next, a former TEDx speaker who's spoken on the issue of democracy in a changing world. He was also the Assistant General Manager of Sales at Patricia Dark Interior and Projects. Please welcome on stage Gabriele Morris. Our next panelist is a former United Nations consultant and top international political analyst who has advised top international development and environmental firms, VCs, and startups. Please welcome on stage Maria Francisca Paz y Miño. Our final panelist is a Sustainability Committee member at IE University and also the founder of the Sustainability Goals Club in Madrid. She runs her own business consultancy for tech startups, Erasmus Tech Consulting. Please welcome on stage Noor Yunus.
Okay, thank you all for being here today. I think Juanjo and Norman and Paris already addressed it, but one of the most amazing things of working here at IE is the students itself. We were thinking about what to do for the panel today, about how obviously sustainability is a big thing, it's a very hip thing, but who are actually doing it? And I was lucky enough that we didn't have to go far because we have 4 amazing champions right here. So you already got introduced shortly, but could you tell us a little bit who you are and why is this specific panel, why are you so passionate about this?
So thank you everyone for coming today. I'm Noor, I'm a student at IE, and I'm passionate about the intersection of sustainability, technology, and finance, but I do think that we have many things on many tools and many resources, and taking all those together and putting them to help other people, that's what I'm passionate about, and that's how I would describe best.
Thanks, Noor.
I'm Gabriele. I'm a third-year BIR student as well here at IE. And for me, it's always been about connecting people through their stories. As the world always becomes more connected, I think it's really important to always raise awareness within communities and to connect with each other, not just through the phone or digitally, but also emotionally and with empathy.
Hi everyone, my name is Maria Francisca Paz y Miño. I'm from Quito, Ecuador, and to me it's about ethics and equality, social justice. It's about creating business models that make sense, that create opportunity and profit for many groups that have never been really visible to the world. And I think that for me is about giving back, creating profits, but also being very, very diligent with ethics and making sure that there's equality in these opportunities.
Hi, my name is Peño, and I'm from South Africa. And I think what makes me passionate about this topic of giving back is actually having realized that I've gotten so much from the world, from the people around me, from my community, and from everyone I've encountered. And it really challenges me to say, whatever I've received that has put me to where I am and on the path that I'm going on, what can I do to find another Peño, or not another Peño, who could be on the same path?
Amazing. Thank you so much. So I think everybody knows right now we should make a change in the world, whether it's environmental or socially. You guys have actually started something, or whether that was with success or without success. How did it start? Did you start from I want to do good, or were you doing business and realized in hindsight by being sustainable it helps?
I think I'll start. For me, it started with business. I think I was really passionate about business. And then I learned about entrepreneurship. And then I learned that there's a difference, right? And after discovering entrepreneurship, I realized what a powerful tool it could be for change and for making a positive impact. And so I moved kind of like from business to entrepreneurship. Sounds the same, but to me, it's really not.
For me, it goes way back in Ecuador when I was a young girl and I used to go do community work with my parents outside of the outskirts of Quito. And I realized, there is more than just us as a family and as a community. There are more people that have needs in the world. And so I grew up with a mindset of curiosity and inquiry. And there I am in New York City trying to make it, because in New York you don't live, you survive. And it's a world of emotions, but also trying to make it as a Latino woman also. And there I am in the middle of the pandemic as well. And I get a call from the community leader, the Ecuadorian community leader, and he tells me, Maria, we need a young person to lead the way during COVID-19. And I have a choice, right? Can I go back to Ecuador to see my parents, or can I stay there and truly be the activist that I've always called myself? And I did. I stayed and supported my community, and there I realized, financial education gives us everything. It gives us all the pathway to success. So I applied to IE, and here I am trying to build a startup with the Ecuadorian community and with Latin Americans, supporting their talent, their heritage, and their knowledge, because there is so much out there in the world that needs our support.
So for me, it all started as a magazine, kind of, in order to raise awareness about issues of social injustice, especially in underdeveloped communities to Spain, mainly. And it was through the eyes of the people impacted by the issues, because I believe the one thing is to hear or read something from the news or from a paper or the newspaper, but one thing, and you care about those things, but it makes a whole difference when somebody has been affected and impacted by that issue, tells you directly. You are much more prone to take action and to do something about it. So it all started like this, with no business in mind or no monetary compensation behind it. But then I realized that the whole point was this lack of, let's say, in a way, emotional connectivity between people, and telling each other stories to understand really what is going on and what we can do to help each other. And then it became a business. I mean, the best example is what is going on here today and what IE does, connecting people together. After we go, thank you Heineken for the beers, we go connect, network a bit, and great ideas will come up, and we build communities, and this is all, it's all about this, in my opinion, connection.
So grab a beer with Gabi later.
Yeah, well, to me, I was born and raised in a context where helping people or giving back or getting help was never questioned. It was the rule. And so I was born surrounded by amazing people, raised and surrounded by amazing people. But to me, it all started when I came to IE, because it was a time when I was given the resources to do so. In high school, you always say, oh, when I graduate from university, I'm going to do this and that. But it was actually when I came to university when I was given the tools to do that. So that's why we started the club, and then it turned into sustainability committee. But then we in the Netherlands, we were like, look, we can help all these tech startups. Like, we do have knowledge, we have the resources. Let's help other people advance. The same with all the companies that I've worked with. It's all about helping people, right? And yes, you can do business while helping people. You can be profitable while helping people, and that's a bit how it started for me.
I mean, I think that's a very, the last sentence that you say, hey, you can make money off of it. It used to be a dirty thing, dirty word to say like, okay, I want to make money out of helping people. How do you do it? Because everybody wants to do it. Hey, I don't think this, if you have a conversation with a person like, hey, I don't want to be good for the environment, or I want to help this immigrant community or whatever their cause is. As an entrepreneur and in your experience, is it costing you money, but it's worth it? Is it the thing that generates more? Like, do we have to choose?
I think you don't have to choose to start there. And I think it's because when you design your business model, when you set out to solve a particular problem, right? We're not intending to solve a problem for the short term, right? When you went into sustainability, you were not going there to temporarily solve a problem, right? And I think Jeffrey mentioned before about the importance of making a profit in the previous panel, right? Say even if it's €1, because that's what keeps the business alive, right? So I think it's not a choice, right? You have to, in some way, make money off it because money is the fuel, right? Do we want to grab a vehicle and not put fuel in it? How far will it go, right? And I want to put No on the spot because we had a conversation over coffee, and you mentioned something about not-for-profit, right? And I want to put you on the spot, right? And I want you to like not to spoil it, to just take us there.
So I was telling him that to me there's a big difference between being non-profit and not-for-profit, because while non-profits do not financially benefit from the work, the social work that they're doing, being a not-for-profit company to me means that your focus and your aim and where you're going is not for a financial purpose, but rather to really help people and put there what you have so that other people can also benefit from it just as you're doing. So that's basically what I was meaning with that.
Okay, and just to follow up, because I mean, No is being a bit shy about it, right? Now, for someone who might not have an idea, right, of saying, okay, so it's not for profit, does this mean that you are making the bare minimum? Does this mean that you're working in the cents? You know, like, are you making any money? Like, are you making good money? Right?
Yeah, no, and like our conversation, I was telling him about the startups and companies that I've worked with. Yes, they were making money, they were making profit, but the whole purpose, it was about using artificial intelligence for good. So what are the problems out there that we can solve with the tools that we have that other people don't, while, you know, being financially sustainable? Because to me is it's necessary to make money so that you can scale your impact and help more people, right? So I hope that answers what you wanted to.
Perfect. How about you, Maria? You just, and for that matter, you as well, Gabby, you both just pitched your startup here at Venture Day. So you're trying to launch something while competing with, I assume you have competitors that are probably, some of them might not take the social cost as much in consideration. Is that something that is a very big weighs on you heavily, or is that something that because you focus on the long haul is worth it?
Well, I think in my case, coming from a social impact background, I had to come to a point of realization and reflection of, you know, there is an important side of social impact, but it's also important to understand that financial education and financial success can be something for everyone. And the way we do this has to be with the creativity and the commitment we have as community leaders or as people that have startup and businesses ideas, because we shouldn't be thinking about, oh, we're creating this business to create abundance only for ourselves and our teams. It's also about doing that for an ecosystem, because we are part of a world, we're part of a bigger team. And I always think, right, like if we do something that has a ripple effect in our community, it's going to be something catchy for the rest of the world to also follow and want to follow. And there's nothing wrong to want to be abundant and be successful in a business, because it's the mindset. The mindset plays a very important role in a business, whether you're coaching someone about business, if you're talking about business, and doesn't matter if you really went to business school or not, it is about the mindset of success and a mindset of growth. So for me, it is about that. It's about cultivating it here and transmitting it elsewhere in the business models that we create.
I think regarding when it comes to my case, I would say the business I'm trying to build, we've seen the biggest example 3 days ago when Lush, the company, stopped using social media and they said, we're happy to lose 14 million pounds, which is an incredible statement for a company. But what they're saying is, I mean, you know, we are still making money, but we don't care about making that much money as long as we can keep our company sustainable, because they know that in the long run, if they're able to keep their customers happy and give them the space they deserve, then they're going to make a lot more money than losing in a year 13 million pounds. So also very interesting regarding how businesses and companies grow. Like, for us, it is about putting practices which relate to social sustainability and environmental sustainability, always in the business. I believe it was a report from Deloitte showing that when brands transmit in their practices sustainable and environmental narratives, customers are more prone to come back, and they will always come back and come back and come back, as opposed to those who don't have these narratives. And so what this means is that this company have to invest more money into making more campaigns and into creating more initiatives. And at the same time, the other businesses don't have to put that much money, so they're making more profit. But the ones who do, in the long run, will have a lot more customers and will generate a lot more money whilst giving back along the way.
Yeah. By creating value and thus connecting to your customers, there's a long-term competitiveness that you can gain. We have obviously an amazing audience here, filled of entrepreneurs, students, investors. What would you want to share with them if you have two sentences to say at the end of this panel that you want them to think about or take away from it?
To me, it's not on the business side as they are, because they are entrepreneurs. You're running your business, but I've always been in the backstage, right? So like the backstage of like the business building process, and I would say that I think we all have the chance to support other people, and in my opinion, we should do it, because if you think about it in a way in which you have other people's back and we all have someone else's back, then whenever we need help, because we're gonna need it, we don't have to worry, because someone else is gonna have our back. So support other people, because they will support you, and whenever you need help, that the time is gonna come, you will have nothing to worry about. That's what I would like to say.
Beautiful.
I think that now more than ever, I'll be very, very short. We always have to remember about connecting with each other. And you know, now we often connect through a phone or through a Zoom, and we do classes through Zoom, but don't forget that beyond that screen, there is a human being who has emotions, who has feelings. So don't just connect digitally, connect also emotionally. That's what I have to say about that.
For me, I will draw on you guys, because I think that the perfect definition of going into the world is to be tolerant, and the tolerance that we build upon different mindsets and different ways of seeing business. And, you know, Noor has taught me a world about how to create a mindset of such as an investor. And then Gabby has taught me a lot about, hey, this is the way we can structure a startup. And then Penio, this is the way we see business in South Africa. Isn't this about what we're in? We're in a world of diversity. And I think that that's what our role is, to be more of a listener than just to be, you know, hey, this is my truth and that's all we've got. It's more about, you know, being observant and really listening. We need that in the world.
Yeah. I think for me, it would be reframe how you see the people around you, right? Stop seeing yourself as an individual, but see yourself as part of an ecosystem, right? Because once you see yourself as an individual and not part of the system, you tend to see everyone else as competition. Whereas if your focus is on the problem you're trying to solve, the problem she's trying to solve, if there's another entity within IE that's in a similar related field, they are not in competition. They are actually aligned in solving the problem. And if everyone practices fixing their mind on the problem they want to solve, then I will not see her as competition, but as someone who is working with me towards heading to a certain direction. And I think that is one thing that I'd like to leave with anyone here. It's reevaluate how the lens through which you see other players within the system.
I think that's a beautiful note to end up. So don't think about the individual, but think about the ecosystem. Thank you so much for your time today, and I hope you guys are ready for the next picture.
Thank you.
Runner-ups. And starting us off will be sales pitch. Life is about sales. We have Tinder and Bumble for social sales. We've got political rallies for political sales. But for economic-wise, we don't have a platform dedicated to the recruitment of sales personnel. That's what Sales Pitch is here to tell us more about. Welcome on stage.
Start sharing with you that in the last 10 years as a sales manager, I needed to evaluate more than 10,000 sales job applications in order to hire 100 people. And as you can imagine, this time was extremely time consuming. Now, what happens? Not only because of the huge number of candidates in the market, but also because their applications is more concentrated in the curriculums and also LinkedIn profiles, which don't bring so much information about the real sales skills of those candidates. And this is what Sales Pitch is about. So Sales Pitch is an AI-based platform that goes through the sales skills of each candidate and create instant matches between those candidates and the job opportunities posted by our clients, saving their time, making this process more smarter, and also providing them with the certainty that they're hiring the right candidate. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Hello. Is anyone here trying to look for a flatmate? Okay, I see one. The next startup is going to help you find the best match. Please welcome Mikasa.
1, 2,
Good luck.
When you're looking to share a flat, the people that you live with are what makes or breaks your co-living experience. But co-living is not easy, and until you actually move in together, you have no idea whether you can get along. That's why at Mikasa, we built a compatibility test with the help of psychologists. We rank our users on factors such as cleanliness, noisiness, and much more, and alongside your personal preferences and hobbies, we put you in contact with like-minded people so that you can make a better decision on who you want to live with next. We launched our MVP, and just by word of mouth, we got over 180 users. We helped incoming IE students find flatmates, and we put over 70 people in contact with each other. By now, we have both IE and non-IE matches living together thanks to Mikasa. Finally, we have 2 co-living companies that are interested in implementing our algorithm in their systems. But for that, we need funding. So come find me during the break, and let's make this project a reality. And remember, mi casa es tu casa.
3, 4.
Gentlemen, let's be honest. We too have our bad hair days, bad acne days, bad everything days, but we don't always know how to get the solution for it. Well, we needn't worry anymore because this next startup promises to fix all of these problems. Can we please welcome on stage Alphaderma?
1, 2, 3.
Right, so 3 years ago, my younger brother suffered from mild acne. His skin affected his confidence, and once it got slightly better, he struggled to find a product to cover the few imperfections, scars, and spots that remained. In fact, it was so difficult for him to find a concealer for men to cover his spots that he had to use a women's brand. And I mean, truth is, in the makeup industry, men have simply been left behind. So what's our solution? Alphaderma Cosmetics for Men. a male-specific cosmetics company that provides easily applicable, affordable, and unnoticeable makeup products for all men to camouflage imperfections that ultimately feel good, look good, and boost their confidence. Our hero product, the Camouflage Correcting Stick, a pocket portable, discreet, twist-up concealer stick offered in 5 different shades to camouflage imperfections, be it redness, Raisonix, eye bags, or any other types of blemishes in order to camouflage all imperfections. So what do you say? What if there was a cosmetics company that built the gap between the makeup industry and the men's personal care market in an easy and affordable way? Well, we want to build that bridge. Thank you.
I'm excited to announce the next startup because it's from the best country in the world, South Africa. Yes, I'm biased, but I'm holding the mic, so I'm allowed to be. Let's listen to them tell us more about how they're making healthcare affordable.
Good afternoon. My name is Stanley Gabriel, and I am here to present to you Clevercare Plus. We are a crowd-funded, community-based healthcare platform starting in South Africa and taking over the globe. Here are 8 reasons why you should talk to us at Clevercare Plus. We are a gifted and blessed team of financial services executives across the African continent. We are seeking to democratize healthcare, especially in a post-COVID world. We want to leverage the trust of existing savings communities in Africa. We think it's scalable in South Africa and globally. We feel Clevercare is complementary to private healthcare and also national healthcare insurance systems. We want to leverage the trend of behavior tech and make sure that we step into our customers' lives daily. We are also solving for platform pain points of all stakeholders, managing supply and demand more effectively. Finally, as they say in my language, kenako, it's time. What better time than to have Clevercare exist? From Omicron, please stop COVID discrimination.
3,
Hello. Do you want to try a different kind of refresher? Take a sip of Element. Please welcome on stage.
1, 2,
4 billion dollars. $4 billion in 6 years. That's the total market value of the hard seltzer industry today. And 90% of that revenue is found in the United States alone. But here in Europe, we're seeing a 92% growth every single year in the hard seltzer industry. But why did we choose Spain? Well, as you all know, Spain has a vibrant nightlife with the most number of bars per capita. But despite all this, it's regarded as one of the healthiest countries in the world. So introducing Element, a low-carb, low-sugar, low-cal, refreshing beverage that makes you feel healthy and guilt-free. The way we're going to be different is that we're going to roll out an innovative marketing strategy, source local flavors in Spain, and at the same time be a very transparent brand. My team and I have put together $85,000 in terms of production. But from you, we need $300,000 for marketing and distribution. So come join us so we can help you find your element. Thank you.
2, 3,
For football players out there or watchers, I'm sure this is familiar to you. Now imagine having a VRA screen for each football player for them to gain insights on how they played, or a personal one for coaches for them to strategize better. Well, Delta Letter has made that possible. Let's hear more.
3,
Due to financial constraints that a majority of football clubs in the world face today, they have to find new means to compete with the Real Madrids and Barcelona of the world. One meme is data analytics. And data analytics is currently a billion-euro industry in football. And we've started tackling this industry with our MVP currently serving 4 professional football clubs. But we want to take this solution and make it scalable. And we're going to do so with a fully automated app, one that we are currently developing with players and coaches, making the whole solution by players, for players, with the best possible user experience. And for this app, we currently have a pipeline of 17 professional football clubs, setting us up very well for the future. But let's talk about the past for a second. 20 years ago, baseball adopted Moneyball, starring Brad Pitt, yes. But we think now is the time for football to adopt us, that letter. Thank you very much. 3
All right. Lots of great pitches, great people, great stories. Now let's take a break. Stretch your legs, grab some coffee, grab some snacks, make some friends, and I'll see you in 30 minutes.
Yes. 1, 2, break. Oh, break time.
In particular, because it marks I'm going into my 11th year as managing director of the Venture Lab. And I can tell you that I can't imagine a job that's more fun than this. Hanging out with all you guys for the last 10 years after spending so many years as an asshole, being an investment banker. And then as a founder of 5 startups where I met I met a few assholes as well. So this has been great. So what I want to do is just give you a few pieces of advice as you go forward in your careers for many of you that are graduating very soon, and for those of you that are staying here. I'm going to ask a few students also in a couple minutes why they like IE, or what is it about IE that they really, really like. But I want to give you just a few pieces of advice. Now, many of you know that I'm obsessed with the idea that we all need to be Monday people. Because unfortunately, 80% of the world are Friday people. Friday people hate what they do. They show up on Mondays, they hate Mondays, and they're just waiting for Friday to come along. I've always been a Monday person, and whenever I saw that I wasn't a Monday person, I decided to change jobs. So that's number one. You need to love what you do. The second thing, how many of you seen the movie Blade Runner, the first one? Yeah. Remember Blade Runner, the first one? I mean, that was a classic. I think I've seen it like 8 times. What do you notice about the movie Blade Runner? Remember the replicants? Harrison Ford is tracking down these replicants. He's got to kill them. The whole story of the movie is that these robots that looked like humans loved life more than the humans. And we forget about that. We forget that we all have an expiration date. And we don't think about that because, well, you know, we imagine that it's going to be far into the future. And so we don't live every day of our life as if it was our last day. And we should. And we really should. Because, and I think COVID has brought, to bear a lot of different thinking. People are much more reflective on their lives, what they want to do. And what I love about this school is that most of you here have come here looking for a professional change in your life. And I'm not sure if you're going to find it right away, but I am sure that most of you are convinced of one thing, and that's that you don't want to go back to what you were doing before. And so I want to ask a few students here. We're going to start with Taddy. Taddy, come on up. Taddy is very special to me because Taddy and I, for 2 years, we were helping minority kids online. Right, Taddy?
Correct.
And it was just amazing to see these kids from all over the world, from different ethnic groups, and they were looking for hope in their lives, and there we were trying to give them a little bit of hope. So Taddy, what makes IE special to you?
Well, I didn't have to think much about this one because it was quite a no-brainer. But for me, what makes IE special is the professors. They are so helpful. They want you to succeed. they love what they do. So for me, that has made the journey here very great.
Let's hear it for the professors. And I think we have the chair of the entrepreneurship department here. Where's Rashida? Rashida, raise your hand. There she is. Let's give a hand to Rashida here. She's our boss. All right, I'm going to bring up somebody else now to tell us what she thinks IE is special about. Emily, you want to come up? So Emily was in my Venture Lab class, and she was an undergrad, and she was the only undergrad in the class, and she wanted to create something sustainable skateboards. And everybody thought at the beginning that this was, what kind of a project is this, right? Mm-hmm. But she made it to the finals last year of Venture Day. So Emily, what's special for you?
Well, I feel that IE really makes me feel free. I know that I'm in my element and I'm ready to do whatever I want to do. That's why IE is so special.
All right, let's hear it for Emily. Bailey, come on up, Bailey. Bailey from South Africa. These are all undergrads, as you can tell, except for Tati, she's a MIM.
All right, so Paris asked me what makes IE special to me, and I would say it's the professional staff. So not just the professors who do an incredible job and they love what they do, but also the venture lab professionals, the talent and career professionals. It's the entire body that kind of makes me a better professional and definitely a better student. And Paris. Thank you. Thanks, Bailey.
Okay. And finally, Noor, come on up. Now, this young lady is truly special. Even when she wasn't in IE, she was a transfer student in Holland, she was working for IE.
So you said that if most people are coming here waiting for a change in their professional life, they might take a bit long for them to figure that out. But to me especially, IE is a place where if you want a change of mindset, it's the right place to be. Because I've lived in many countries by now, and I've never seen any place where all these people, just like you, from all different backgrounds and mindsets and perspectives come together. And that's what has shaped me, because I was born and raised in Spain, but then I had this international experience, and I thought my perspective was different until I came here, and my mindset changed completely. So that's what makes IE special for me. Thanks.
Okay, and now without further ado, we've got 10 amazing startups that are going to pitch. And one of them is going to be the winner. And one of them is going to be second, and one's going to be third, and then we're going to have prizes by category. So, without further ado, we're going to continue with the program. Thank you.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. Our most outstanding, most promising startups have gathered today to present to you. The stakes are pretty high, and even higher are our expectations of what these startups will bring to the table tonight. They will be counting with a 5-minute period to pitch their ideas, followed up by 3 minutes of Q&A. I will now proceed to tell you a few details that the technical team has mentioned to me for everyone online. These are difficult technical terms, so please try to follow with me. There's a little rectangle on the Zoom, which you can click on to zoom in and out. And you can also send reactions on the chat using hearts, applause, and let's stick to those emojis for now. Anyway, at this point, we would like to thank the jury for their time and effort tonight. I will proceed to name all of them. Please, I will ask for your applause, but until we finish naming them all. Brooke Richardson from the Venture City. Carlos De Otto from Startup Explorer. Cristina Moyano from Amadeus Ventures. Daniel Calzolari from La Bolsa Social. Ellie Avilahud from Accenture, Jamie Beal from Faraday Venture Partners, Javier Torremocha from Kiko Ventures, Jorge Fields from Cupido Capital, Jose Antonio Carpintero, Fondo Seed CDC, Juan Cusco from Mapfre, Laura Colina from Fondo Bolsa Social, Nicolás Campo from Invertidos VC, Ricardo Gómez Acebo Botín from Overactive Media, Ross Strahan from Adara Ventures, Sasha Bedelt from Angel Investor, Teresa Dominguez from Attitude Capital Center, and Victoria McIvor from the World Fund. Please give a big round of applause to our investors.
Okay, now it's my time. Remember the time when people were crazy about Pokemon Go? Everyone was like, oh, gotta catch them all. You remember that? Well, I think our first finalist might be the next trendsetter. Trying to bridge the gap between digital and physical art, Nomu is gonna unlock your imagination. Please come on up.
These are the finalists.
The clicker's not working. Can someone connect the slides?
Oh, can we restart, please? Spoiler. Thank you. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Javier Mateache, and I'm one of the co-founders of Nomu. And we are here today because we want to build a bridge between the virtual and the real world. Let's start here. This is an NFT. How much do you think it sold for? 100, 200, 500 US dollars? Beeple's 5,000 Days NFT sold for 69 million US dollars earlier this year. Why, you may ask? To understand why, first we need to grasp what an NFT is. An NFT is basically a digital asset that is non-fungible, non-divisible, non-interchangeable, and that has the unequivocal capacity to determine its owner at all times. They mostly reside within the Ethereum blockchain and are backed up by the smart contract technology that makes them an NFT and not just any other digital asset. The NFT market has been booming in the past year and a half. Since the second quarter of 2020, we saw the sales volume going from 250 million to 10.8 billion US dollars by the third quarter of 2021. We're seeing celebrities, artists, and all kinds of organizations making tokens. Everybody wants to be a part of the craze, and so do we. But we don't want to just speculate with them. We want to fix the problem behind the tangibility and visibility behind it. As of right now, if you own an NFT, you basically have two options. The first one is the marketplace. Let's take the example of OpenSea, which is the largest one. There are more than 4 million NFTs for sale on OpenSea, and since its creation in 2017, they have amassed a sales volume of 10 billion US dollars. The issue with it is that if you're not an influencer or a first mover in the NFT blockchain market, you're simply not going to get seen. Look at how hard it is for an artist to sell their art in an exhibition or at any museum. Now imagine if it gets lost in a feed with millions of other pieces, sharing the space with the best and the worst artists in the world. The second option that you have is the Metaverse, the word that is on everybody's mind since Mark Zuckerberg's announcement a couple of weeks ago. Metaverses are basically virtual lands with a limited capacity to build on them. Let's take the example of Decentraland, which is one of the most popular ones. They have 90,000 parcels within it, and the owner of the parcel decides what can and can't be built within it. So if you wanted to expose an NFT in Decentraland, you'd have to acquire a parcel for thousands of US dollars or get an owner's permission. And even if you manage to expose it there, there is still some issues, since the user is sitting behind a computer screen and they're not interacting with the physical characteristics that this world offers, and that makes art pop out so much in the real world. This is where a solution comes in. Sorry about that. We want to build an NFT augmented reality exhibition platform where the owner and the artist will be able to geolocate their piece wherever they desire in the world and interact with our community. The augmented reality technology
will allow us to add the tangible and physical characteristics to the NFT that it's so much lacking, interacting with the world and other buildings, for example, around them. The geolocation will allow the artist and the owner to put the NFT wherever they desire, either if it's for aesthetics or in order to get more viewers, to get more sales on their NFT. Thirdly, we have our community. It revolves around 3 areas. Firstly, the users, who will have the opportunity to experience NFTs in augmented reality and in a way that is not yet offered in the market. Secondly, the artists and the owners, who will gain a visibility and an exhibition platform that does not yet exist for them, where they will be able to interact with a large host of community. And lastly, the institutions. This could be a marketing tool, for example, for a marketplace like OpenSea. If a collection drops, they could put the collection in the Park of Retiro and people could go enjoy it there and buy it if they want. Or Coca-Cola could fill up the Gran Via in red and white colors for their Christmas campaign. The UX needs to be extremely simple and straightforward, since the interface is one of the biggest issues that we are seeing in the blockchain world. We'll divide it in 4 areas. The discover area, where you'll see different updates about new NFTs and new updates on our platform. The find area, where you will be able to see pinned NFTs that are close to your physical location. The view area, which will be the lens through which the user will be able to experience NFTs in augmented reality throughout the city. And the share area, where our community will be able to interact between each other, users and artists. Our monetization strategy aims to monetize the owner and the artist by 2022, charging them a small fee depending on where they post the NFT and for how long. In 2023, we want to monetize the users and the marketplace through a gamification point of view, and the marketplaces through a commission on the sales that they made through our platform. And lastly, the institutions in 2024, when we have achieved the critical mass of users, as we will become an extremely attractive marketing platform. Our P&L estimates that we will break even by 2023. We have a team of 5 young entrepreneurs that come from different backgrounds, such as business, architecture, development, design, and marketing. And we want to take part in the revolution that is taking place and that is not going to stop quite yet. The philosophy behind the project is to build a bridge between the digital and the real world, because we truly believe that art is not art unless there is someone to observe it. Thank you. We'll gladly take your questions.
Hello. Thank you very much, Sasha Badelt, angel investor, for this amazing presentation. You have a typical platform problem. Do you have an idea how you start going to market, having enough or providing enough value for the users? Do you have any idea how do you populate your platform?
Yeah, we actually have a slide prepared for a question like that. So our go-to-market strategy is basically going to revolve around educating people, especially in the beginning, digital artists all around Spain first, in our closer circle, and then around the world, because people don't really understand the benefits that they can re-up from something like NFTs and blockchain technology. So that will be a first step to our community and online social networks, basically. We will target, obviously, the art and the crypto consumer at first, since they're a logical adapter of our technology. We've been to a bunch of conferences already, and we've gotten into the whole community creating of the blockchain world, which is quite different to the traditional one on Telegram, Discord, and all these new things that are kind of a lot to grasp. And then lastly, we want to make it simple and easy. We want people to be on a blockchain platform that works with cryptocurrency without really knowing that they're using blockchain technology. That's going to be the future of blockchain and how blockchain is going to be adapted.
Hey guys, happy to see you in the final.
Thank you.
What's your tech roadmap? I mean, this is a really ambitious project. What's your next steps?
Okay, basically we are working right now in a demo where you can simply put 3D objects across the city, and you can take your phone and see it. By mid of 2022, we want to finish this demo and start to developing the MVP. The MVP will consist in an application using the Unity SDK Air Foundation to work with 3D objects and place it in the real world. There we will have some artists that will act as early adopters. And once we have enough amount of artists and NFT displays around the world, we will start to creating the DApp, the final version of the app. There we will be able to interact with the artist and with the users, and also we will allow the people to place their own NFT automatically without the need of the team.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. My question is aligned to Sasha's. You were saying that how you're going to be acquiring these users. In the meantime, I've seen, and if I remember correctly, the graph that you have some variable costs, and then later on you're starting on fixed costs. How much investment do you need, and when are you going to break even?
Yeah, the estimations we've made is that we will be breaking even by 2023, but that will obviously depend on when the app is actually developed and when we can start acquiring users. The first part of the question, sorry?
It was around the costs, like
Yeah. Of course, I mean, at the beginning, the main cost that we're going to have are blockchain developers and developers in general, because as you guys probably know, they are quite expensive. So we do have a great developing expert in the team, but we're trying to build a team around him in order to make the app turn real.
Thank you. And the amount of the investment, sorry.
The amount of investment?
That you would be needed.
As of right now, we think that with $250,000, we can comfortably start building the app.
So 250,000 would lead you to break even, or not?
250,000 would allow us to develop the app and bring out the MVP and then start gaining more investment in the future from other VCs. If we want to scale it worldwide like we do, it's probably going to require a bit more than 250,000.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, this is all the time that we have, and we'll be moving on to the next one. Thank you so much, Nomu. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well done.
These are the finalists.
Nice spin, Ben. Well, how many of you guys know Revolut and N26? Okay, I'm guessing by a lot of show of hands that a lot of you do. Well, what do they have in common? Let me tell you. None of them are present in Peru, or there's nothing similar in Peru. Circum is here to make sure that that's not the case any longer. Let us welcome Circum to stage to tell us how they plan to roll this out. Okay.
Hello, so we are Circum, the all-in-one financial app for the Peru landscape. And I want to introduce myself after this. I want to introduce myself saying that I am the main content creator about personal finance and entrepreneurship in Peru. I have more than 800,000 followers, and I asked to my community about what they think about banks. So these were the answers. They were complaining about the hidden fees, the bad quality of the service, and actually they weren't happy with the banks. So we are planning to create a neobank, an all-in-one financial app for Peru. But you were wondering, why Peru? Here is the main reason. The spread between deposits and loans in Peru is super high and more than average after Brazil. So anyone here knows N26 or Revolut and have the app? Please raise your hand. Okay, so now I wanna show you something. In Peru, there are no neobanks, and the biggest neobank in the world is not Revolut or N26. It is Nubank from Brazil. So the second best market is Peru, and there are no competition right now. So N26 is around 10 billion market cap. Revolut is around 35 billion, while Nubank is around 50 billion. So there is an opportunity. What Circum, well, as I was saying, it is the all-in-one financial app, but we cannot start with 10 services. So we decided to start with 2. The first one is gonna be the card with credit, which we are gonna show later what are gonna be our difference, but we're gonna have lower fees. And the second service is gonna be the currency exchange. In Peru, the main currency is soles, but we also have a lot of payments in dollars. So these are gonna be our main 2 products at the beginning. So the roadmap that we have is talk with Visa and MasterCard that we are doing right now, then launch the currency exchange, then the card with credit, and then other products.
So as you can see, this is the current financial landscape of Peru. And in the lower side of the graph, you can see the traditional banks. In the upper left side, you can see all the fintechs. And the problem with the fintechs is that they only focus on one service, and that's where we want to differentiate ourselves, offering multiple services. Why are we going to be successful? So as Christian was mentioning, we have access to the biggest community and channels of personal finance in the country, as well as through affiliative marketing, we have been able to establish several fintechs, the first 5,000 clients. Our go-to-market strategy will be the following. We plan to incorporate in the project several influencers. So we plan to have a reach of around 5 million. From those, we believe that we can obtain 350,000 visitors, 35,000 leads, and the first 3,500 clients. We're going to address Peruvians between 18 and 59 with a smartphone that have access to the internet and are not banked. From this total market of around 10 million, we can address 3.5 million. How are we going to make money? So we have three main revenue lines. The first one is going to be a 2% exchange fee per transaction. Our second one is going to be a 60% EAR. And our third one is going to be a 1.3 spread per currency exchange. So this is important to mention that as of now, we don't have any competitors, so these numbers might go up. However, as of now, we believe that our CAC is going to be 7. Our LTV will start by 50. However, as soon as we start offering more services, this could go up to even more, and our churn rate will be around 35. In terms of our growth, we believe that by year 5, we will have over 92 million in revenue and over 1 million users. And as of now, we have already incorporated the company in Delaware and in Peru. We have established conversations with Visa and MasterCard. We have also talked with local providers such as Gmoney, and we have invested in the trademark. We have invested in the mock-up, a landing page. We have a waiting list of around 250 people. And we need 500,000 for a 12-month runaway. This will be allocated for 68% of the money we raise for product, 25% to marketing, and 7% to legal. Now, this is the team. Christian, as he was mentioning, he's a content creator. Rodrigo is digital marketing, and me and Francisco have both a banking background. And we have managed to secure Kenneth Lopez as our tech advisor. Kenneth has one of the biggest tech companies in Peru, and he's also involved in the whole Endeavor ecosystem there. So why not invest in the next unicorn? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations for your presentation. Couple of questions. In projects like this, in initial stage, normally you try to compete with major banks. Then are you thinking also about the partnership with major banks in addition to Visa, MasterCard? And my second question refers to the regulation. How it's about the regulation in Peru referred to your particular project?
Okay, I didn't hear the second question, but the first one I hear.
Peruvian regulation. How it is Peruvian regulation in order to assume fintechs in projects like this? Okay. It's hard, it's tough, it's easy.
Okay. Right now, to achieve the first 5,000 users, it's easy in order to any kind of fintech in Peru because there are not a lot of competition. And about the alliance with Visa, MasterCard, and the neobanks, right now there are 2 small neobanks in Peru. They are both with Visa, and actually we are talking with the business development manager of MasterCard because they are super interested in the landscape in Peru. So our plan is to do the alliance with MasterCard, and our exit plan is in Peru. There are 20 banks. There are a lot of huge neobanks outside Peru, and they should come in a couple of years. So the opportunity is not going to be there for a lot of time, but the opportunity is now. Like we're focusing on growing, and then let's see if someone wants to acquire or merge or do something like that. And the second question, I don't know if you want to solve it because I didn't hear it.
So your first question was if we plan on getting, so how to compete with the traditional banks, right?
Yeah, well, in initial stage, always you want to compete with the traditional banking. But in a final stage, what you normally try to do is obtain alliance partnership. Then more or less you have answered, and you are taking some agreements with Visa, MasterCard, but they are more like payments. But I'm thinking more about assets management, because in the initial stage, what you are going to do is more focus on payments, but maybe later on you are going to do other activities.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah, you have replied somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was right now we're focusing on the clients that already have a debit card and things like that. And after that, what we are going to do is a partnership with Visa, MasterCard for sure. And then in the competition area, I mean, there are competition just in specific fintechs. We're starting with two: cards with credit and currency exchange. So payment systems, we're not entering right now. We're just focusing on these two. And the card with credit, the difference with a credit card is that you have a fund that Visa or MasterCard can put it, because another neobank did that in Peru, a fund of $5 million, and you lend money out of that $5 million. So that's our current plan. Just raise that money for the company and raise money for the fund, and then lend money to the customers.
Okay, thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the time for Q&A is over. I'm really sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Circum, please.
All right. Before we go on to the next startup, we would like to apologize. There was an omission in one of the investors present here today. I would please ask for a round of applause for Aristotelos from Seaya Ventures. Thank you for joining us tonight. Now, they say pets are a person's best friend. And what do best friends deserve if not the best care? Up next is a startup looking to turn the world of pet health completely upside down in an innovative yet unusual way. Please welcome on stage Katoneko.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are proud and excited to present to you Katoneko because we believe that caring is one drop away. Now, I'm sure we all know the saying, dogs are man's best friend. So I'd like to introduce you to my best friend, Flocon, my dog that sadly passed away this year. Now, I know what you're all thinking, 18 years old, he's had a good run. He really did, right? Actually, if you put that in human age, it's actually 91 years old. But the same as humans, when pets grow older, they get a lot of health issues, which actually gives them a lot of pain. Now, if you go to a normal vet, he'll give you heavy medication. But this heavy medication is just not suited for pets. It'll give them a lot of side effects, which requires a lot of supplements, but also they're extremely hard to swallow. So you have to force feed the pills to your dogs. On the other side, throughout their lives, pets become really anxious when they're alone, or there's storms, or they travel, for example. But little did I know, there actually is a natural solution out there. Cannabidiol, also known as CBD, which is the non-psychotropic component of hemp. Scientific studies have shown that it is 66% times more effective than heavy medication against pain and 55% against anxiety. It's also natural, has no side effects, but the real issue is that it's extremely hard to find good quality here in Europe. So that's where our solution comes from. Katoneko. We are a premium CBD oil dropper that makes no compromise on quality. Not only is it that easy to use, it's one product for all. Doesn't matter the size, the breed, the age. It's finished force-feeding pills to your dogs. It's now only 3 drops in your pet's favorite food. It's organic, it's ecological. As you can see, it's really easy to travel with, and it has a long shelf life. Now, luckily for you investors, the market is booming. It is, look at the numbers, $630 million this year, and it's actually growing at a 58.9 CAGR to reach 4.79 billion in 2028. But where are we going to go with this, Alex?
Great question. Actually in France and Switzerland. But why France? Because it's the 3rd biggest dog population in Europe, and the 2nd for cats. There's actually 7 million CBD users, and 75% of them are actually pet owners. It's also a great location for expansion. And why Switzerland? Because we're incorporated there. It's the first CBD producing country in Europe, and we have the Swiss quality stamp. Now you can see that amongst our competitors, we are the only one to be on both markets. We are also the only one to be both organic and ecological. We know that sustainability is one of the main trigger points of our audience, as the survey we did showed. Also, our high quality justifies our high price and our luxurious positioning. So we talked about sustainability. How are we sustainable? First of all, our crops are grown by the nearby Swiss mountain sources. We don't use chemicals, we are organic. And do you know the amount of aluminum and plastic used by traditional medication? With Catonico, it's not a problem anymore. So how does it work? Green Brothers, our supplier, Swiss one, produce the M for us, and then we ship it already to the B2C customers that order it on our website. We already started with the B2C segment, as we will talk about it later, and now we need to expand on the B2B segment. So let's talk about numbers now.
Absolutely. According to statistics, there are 24 million cats and dogs in France and Switzerland, and 1% of those currently take CBD. This number is going to be growing exponentially in the years to come. Now, we plan on converting 2% of those in our first year, meaning we'll have 4,800 clients by the end of next year. We have a selling price of $49.99, meaning we'll have 212,000 in revenue in year one, up to 11.7 million in revenue when we grow in other markets. More interestingly, we also have a 72% profit margin for every single bottle that we sell, which is why we'll break even in month number 12, and all this can be verified with our marketing and our CAC.
We know that every successful brand is built around a strong community. That's why we decided to answer the most frequently asked question on our blog, on our website. We'll build legitimacy working with the 3 online pet supply leaders on our market, but also with specialized brick-and-mortar shops like vet kennels. We'll increase our visibility with ads, but with events too, and we are actually proud to say that we secured a spot at the world's biggest pet supply fair in the world in Berlin in May 2022, and you can see our design here. It's fairly easy for us to scale, both geographically, as we can expand in 15 countries in Europe already, but we decided to focus in Germany in 2023 and in the Netherlands in 2024. It's also easy for us to scale and diversify on other animals and products, as our suppliers, Green Brothers, are farmers and chemists.
Now, we know we're on the right track. Why? We'd love to talk to you about the 300 surveys or the 50 interviews that we've done with our target customers that tell us that our product is what they want and need. We could also talk to you about the 2 letters of intent that we got from veterinarians that are telling us that we have the highest quality there is. But more importantly, let's talk about customers here. We already have more than 100 customers. We have more than 5,000 euros in revenue already, and we already have 50 orders that we're going to have to deliver before the end of the year. So we're asking for 250,000 in pre-seed round to help us with marketing, operations, and business development. But why give us this money? Because we have a website, we have an incorporated company, we have customers, we have revenue, and we're not the same as every other CBD for animal company. We are the only ones that are premium, that are luxurious, and we know that when it comes to their pets, people are ready to spend anything. And finally, investors, this is your opportunity to be part of the fastest growing market, one of the fastest growing markets, the Cana tech industry. So meet the team. Alexandre, we know it's not very original. I'll be in charge of marketing and sales, and Alexandre here will be in charge of operations and logistics with our
Katonika, you have run out of time, but thank you so much for your presentation. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good afternoon. Thank you for the presentation. It was really interesting. I have one question about country-specific needs in terms of, is there any legal requirement moving from one country to another? And how have you taken that into account, if that is the case in the business plan? Thank you.
I'm not sure. Legal. Oh, yeah, okay. Actually, there's 2, let's say there's 2 situations. There's a standardized one, which is the European Union, and there's another one that's Switzerland, because we like to do it our own way, I guess. Let's talk about Switzerland first. It's completely unrestricted when you're underneath 1% of THC per bottle. In Europe, it's standardized at underneath 0.2%. Then, more or less, every country can be a bit higher or not, but 0.2 it's the minimum. We actually spent 1 year to find a good supplier. I'm the Swiss guy of the 2. I like compliance. I like to play in the rules, and that's why we spent that much time to find the good one. And our supplier, Green Brothers, create a THC hemp, a CBD that's underneath this 0.2%, and we received for every batch that we order an analysis, scientific analysis that prove us that it's underneath it. So yeah, so we comply to to Europe.
Thank you very much for the presentation and the samples, and congratulations on the revenues. I have a quick question around the price. So you have that's 49.99 retail price or wholesale price, and what are the margins?
No, retail price.
Retail price.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What would be wholesale price? So for the pet stores.
Exactly. Because we started only on the B2C segment, and now we want to expand on the B2B one. So we didn't do it yet. Yeah.
And what margins are you
So
managing?
per bottle, we are at 72% margin. So it cost us 4 more or less to buy it, then there's to package it, to label it. So all in all, we are about, with the shipping cost as well, at 14 per bottle, and then with the shipping and the logistics, all that behind, and then we sell it at 49.99.
Thank you.
Congrats on the pitch, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have you thought about your exit plan? I know it. Have you thought about your exit plan? I know it's way down the line, but what could be a good exit for you?
Yeah, the best fund, the ideal exit plan would be an M&A with a pet food company, ideally. And there's quite a few, but the biggest one is in Switzerland, Nestlé.
Absolutely, and that's why it's very important for us. We are already working with Green Brothers, our suppliers. We're already working on doing our own proprietary formula that will be normally available in March, and that we're going to trademark. We're also adding in there other components of hemp, so that we can have that, and then of course it's better for us, right? Yeah. All right, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sometimes it's pretty hard to find a luxury aftercare service provider. Well, our next startup knows your pain and is ready to help. Please welcome Revive.
Let me just make sure it works. Works? Yeah. Okay. Hi, everyone. This is our co-founder, Jesse. 70 years ago, his grandfather started a luxury repair shop. Taking after his grandfather, Jesse started his own company, selling second-hand luxury goods. They both started their businesses in rapidly growing industries. In fact, the luxury market today is worth $281 billion, and the repair for luxury goods is generating $3 billion annually in the US alone. But as the CEO of Hublot said, there you go, luxury brands only care about selling their product, not repairing it.
So repairs are done primarily by artisan businesses, just like Jesse's father. In fact, in the US, there's over 20,000 of them. But they're highly fragmented, analog, and unreliable. This is a problem because millennials are due to be the primary consumers of luxury goods. They have a much higher focus on extending the product life cycle. They buy and sell more secondhand, and they have higher service expectations. So the demand for reliable repairs is growing, but the industry is still stuck in the 1800s.
So this is where we come in. Revive, streamlining and digitalizing the revival of luxury goods. We're a marketplace that connects end users with vetted artisans for the repairs of watches, jewelry, and handbags. Our business model only gets stronger as the network effect increases. We're offering a subscription-based revenue model for artisans, and we charge them a fee for every booking that occurs. For the end users, our only revenue stream is by upselling services.
What does this mean? For artisans, Revive offers access to a new and global customer base by helping them get discovered and booked. We also enable them to transform their businesses into the 21st century with market insights and digital management tools. For the end user, our focus is on delivering trust and convenience. Trust through transparency and quality standards, such as allowing consumers to connect directly with the artisan, track their item, and by us pre-vetting the artisans based on their experience and certification. Convenience comes through an easy customer experience with reliant and relevant information. And all of this allows us to directly tackle two sustainable development goals: ensuring sustainable consumption, because reviving an item is 99% less carbon heavy than buying new, and promoting sustainable industrialization, because we're helping small-scale businesses, many of which are struggling.
Unlike our competitors, we only focus on the luxury space and connecting with artisans, instead of doing the repairs in-house. Our unit economics is split between end users and artisans. As you can see, we have very healthy LTV to CAC ratios, with the big difference being that for end users, there's a much larger churn ratio because luxury goods aren't repaired as frequently. While for artisans, they'll remain on our platform as long as the network effect is strong. So we expect to break even after 2.5 years with a steady growth thereafter. We're asking for $100,000 from friends and family to fund the initial 12 months of our business.
And of course, we've done our validation. We found that 83% of people we've surveyed have experienced a struggle with the repair service. In the US alone, there's over 500,000 searches related to repair keywords. We've also built an MVP with which we've garnered 200 signups expressing initial interest, and we've managed to run 10 people through a successful client journey. We've also validated the artisan side, talking to over 40 of them, showing us that there truly is a need for them to become digital and connect to a more global and new generation of customer. We're starting with a customer and artisan interface that allows for booking, and then we'll introduce logistics and other convenience features step by step. We will also start local with a hand-selected number of artisans, leveraging the SEO, and then expanding into digital and paid marketing. But what we're most excited about is the potential that Revive has. We want to be a global repair marketplace for all kinds of luxury products. We see huge potential in B2B, with brands and other secondhand marketplaces become our clients, outsourcing their repair requests to us. And finally, Revive is ideally positioned to capture other business opportunities within the thriving luxury market and the circular economy.
So this is our team, diverse, with the right industry expertise and the will to get it done. Revive, because luxury is meant to last.
This clicker needs to move. Is there a chance for us to bring on Jesse and Bruno?
Hey guys.
So happy to take the questions.
Hey, great presentation. Vicky from the World Fund. So you've done some work in terms of the quality of the artisans, but what are you thinking in terms of ensuring they are engaging with the best customers? Because of course you have to keep the artisans engaged and using the platform as well.
Sorry, just to make sure I understand. The way that we're keeping the artisans engaged in the platform?
Yeah, and in particular, how you will ensure the customers that are on your platform are good quality customers and that interaction works well between the two.
Yes. So yes, definitely. So there are security elements not only on the customer side, but of course also for the artisans, to make sure that the customers that they cater to are not, frauding them or doing anything suspicious. So we have a two-sided review system, and we also enable artisans to speak to each other through the CRM tools and the management tools that we will implement, so that they can share their experience with customers as well.
Thanks.
Thank you. Congrats, guys, on the presentation. It was great. Very quick question. Will you be vetting the, not the clients, the repair shops or people that will be in your platform? And how will you be doing that? Will that be a manual process or?
Yes, at the beginning, it will be manual. We want to talk to them. There's, of course, certain standardized things that we can check, such as their business license, certifications that they have from brands to be certified repair facilities. But then we do plan to do it automatically. We did a lot of this back in my job at Amazon. We used to check millions of sellers every day automatically. So we plan to implement similar structures for us to allow artisans to just upload any type of documentation that we need to automatically verify and vet them.
Thank you.
Jesse, is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I think you answered that very well, but some of the things that we want to consider are how many years they've been in business, the artisans on their team, if they have any certifications, if they are allowed to acquire parts directly from brands, things like that. So there's multiple certain criteria that we will be vetting them on. And as Luma said, at first it would be done manually, but very quickly we hope to have that be an automated process.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephanie. Well done, guys. Having to eat without stressing about whether you'd fit into your clothes is already quite a problem. Now imagine having a weight condition that fluctuates your weight. That even makes clothes shopping much more stressful. Here today is Morphology, and they're here to tell us about a solution that can change that. Let us welcome them on stage for them to tell us about their lifestyle brand.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is me after my second pelvic surgery. My name is Chloé Bellamaric, and when I was 19 years old, I got diagnosed with endometriosis, an incurable illness where a similar tissue of the lining of the uterus is actually growing outside of it, which creates some organ dysfunction, some chronic pain and fatigue, some abdominal bloating, and it can also lead to infertility. But this is not just me. We are 200 million people worldwide. This represents 1 in 10 individuals suffering from being marginalized from the medical core, from the corporate one, and also from fashion. Why fashion? Think about it. I'm sure you've all lived a situation where you had to loosen your pants to feel more comfortable. Well, 96% of those endometriosis patients might even go to the hospital if they don't have adaptable clothes. And by the way, 64% of the rest of the women also experience some abdominal bloating, such as Charlotte or Miriam. So this is where we come, Morphology, the lifestyle brand to address the non-addressed. Morphology empowers through fashion, improves the health well-being, and creates awareness. We will start with a sustainable bloating-friendly collection designed to feel comfortable and beautiful under any circumstances. Thanks to our intelligent designs, we are actually able to win up to 4 sizes on our garments. And we're also sustainable with an on-demand production, actually supporting the slow fashion, which will be sold through online channels and also offline channels, thanks to concept stores in Dubai and Geneva. Excuse me. And we're also ethical, right, in the production. So the good thing is, that we actually have suppliers that do create our MVP and are very sustainable and have assured our growth with Berlin and also with France as suppliers. But what is a lifestyle brand without an ecosystem, right? So we are here to support those individuals by providing them some key tools, such as a Femtech application and the temple that we're currently developing at MIT with my team. We also have the support of a community which will empower those women and provide the body positive message, as well as the endometriosis success stories. And also we'll be working with associations and medical core to leverage some medical data. Now, competitive-wise, whatever is comfortable for a normal person doesn't mean it's comfortable for anyone having a specific condition. So this need is not really being answered, but morphology is here again to address the non-addressed. Financially wise, we're reaching by 2025 up to 8 million euros with more than 52,000 units sold. And we will also be having a cost of 133 euro, a price of on average 180 euros, a CAC of 24 euros, and also a customer lifetime value of 2,800 euros. So funding-wise, Morphology internally will invest 10,000 euros with 1,000 that is in the prototyping and marketing already, and we're requiring for 350,000 euros. And who's Morphology? Well, myself, a passionate entrepreneur, and I have been advised by amazing people from the fashion industry, such as Mathilde and Constance, who designed our prototypes, and also an amazing panel of people with great networking and advices that you can see here. So now the question is, are you also like us ready to address the unaddressed? Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you very much for the presentation and congratulations. It's an amazing project
Nice.
and based on your personal experience, which makes it even more meaningful. I know that getting into the fashion and retail industry is very hard. It's tough at the beginning to make yourself a brand, to get all the channels, to get all the production up and running. Have you considered licensing or selling your ideas, your prototypes to other fashion brands that could maybe help you scale up faster?
Actually, we did, but it's true that we decided to take on the challenge because we really, I mean, we conducted hundreds of interviews online as well, and it has shown that they're lacking of a community support. So this is why we really want to create a lifestyle brand that is being easily scaling up and provide these services for them because they need it.
Understood.
Congrats on your pitch, excellent idea.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm still struggling to understand why you guys. So what makes the competition stay away? Because anybody could actually copy your idea and just go there.
Exactly.
Right? So what are your ideas around that?
So the idea around it, so first of all, yes, there is this adjustable designs. Yes, the low barrier of entry, I mean, the barrier of entries are really low. But again, this lifestyle brand is what we want to do. I don't know if you heard about Lululemon in the US, right? And they managed with simple products to really create a lifestyle brand and be extremely successful, right? Whereas whatever they're doing can be also replicated. But this lifestyle brand aspect makes it more difficult to actually be a direct competition to us. Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Sorry? I'm pretty good. Thank you.
The hemp and cannabis industry is a little bit messy in the EU because there's no unified regulation. However, our next startup has the solution. Please welcome Liberatio.
2, 3, 4. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is David, and I'm here. Sorry, I'm missing my clicker. Thank you. And I'm here to present to you Liberatio. And guess what? We're here to speak about cannabis and hemp. Probably in the past, most of you relate to this use. But in the past, you've all heard, and we've heard it before as well, there's medical uses, there's pet usage, there's biomass, you name it, a lot of usage for this plant. On top of that, we're also speaking about a plant that has great contribution into sustainability, where it's absorbing CO2, It serves as alternative fossil fuel, etc., etc. Also, it hits 7 out of the 17 sustainability goals, published by the United Nations. We're talking about a favorable environment. We know that a month ago there was a regulation published in Luxembourg. Next year, Germany is preparing another regulation. We're hearing a lot of debate, political debate about regulation in the cannabis and the hemp industry. What's the EU prediction? The EU, in an official paper 2019, values the cannabis market within Europe by 2028 into 123 billion euros. So we're talking really, really big money here. On top of this, we've looked at validation markets, and just for your information, the cannabis and hemp industry in the States already means 0.5% of their GDP, and in Canada, 0.9% of their GDP. So what's the problem? Well, the problem we have in Europe is that there is no unified regulation, which leads into many different problems like uncertainty, black markets, no transparency, lack of quality, you name it. What do we offer as a solution? Liberatio platform as a solution, based on 4 streams. First, data gathering. We would put RFID tags to each of the plants so that we can track and trace from seed to sale. Secondly, we offer a platform, Liberatio platform, which is backed up by blockchain to do all of the tracing and tracking of the plants. We will make it accessible for many different stakeholders from many parts of all of the chain. And finally, we will do data reporting and data hosting as well for all of those users as well. We've been very much heavily in touch with the market, and I will use one example. Tilray is the first cannabis industry company which is present in the American stock market, and we've been very lucky to have them acting as ambassadors for us, putting our name into many, many different international forums within the cannabis industry. On top of that, we keep promoting our vision, and tomorrow, actually, on a Spanish primetime show, we've done a big cooperation to promote our vision on what regulation should look like. We've looked at competitors. We haven't found competitors in Europe, but we're following one specific company, which is called Metric. It's a track and trace kind of company for the cannabis industry in the United States. And we're following a very, very similar model to what Metric offers. So how do we make money? It's 3 streams. First, through RFID tags. We will produce the RFID tags and we will attach them to each of the plants within a crop. Secondly, we will have software as a service where, as I explained before, we'll have software licenses with fees, etc., etc. And finally, we will have data and reports, which obviously will help also private and public companies being able to track funds, taxes, etc. What's our go-to-market strategy? To summarize a bit the go-to-market strategy, what we want to do now is finish our MVP. Once we finish our MVP, we should be ready to launch our pilot test, which should be finished by the end of 2022. By 2023, we want to access the national market, and we want to end up entering the European market by 2024. Liberatio in numbers. We've just chosen 3 very basic numbers to show you. Our aim is to break even by mid-2023. And by 2024, once we enter the European market, we hope to boost our revenue. We're looking for 500K. These 500Ks will help us for the next 18 months investing primarily in our software development, which also imply we will also invest in legal fees, business development, and overheads. Finally, I'm very proud to present our team of experts. We've got Patricia, who is our project lead. She's got over 20 years of experience with traceability. We've got Manuel, who is our expert in business development, who's a CEO and has been working as business developer during more than 20 years, excuse me. And myself, David, I'm an expert operational manager, and I've done RFID project implementations in different industries. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've put in front of you a credible proposition. We've put in front of you a favorable market. And ladies and gentlemen, this is ready to go, and we're ready to step forward. The question is, are you ready to join us? So we're happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much. It seems that you're the right team for the project. My question is, what is your, apart from being a great team, your unfair advantage against, for example, why can't producers go with Metro? Because they already have all the things they need, don't they?
Absolutely. We've actually spoken to Metric directly. There's a lot of track and trace. There's the three that we've seen in the American and the Canadian market. There's no presence at all in Europe. When we spoke to Metric, and actually we got to know Metric thanks to being present in the Las Vegas conference, thanks to Tilray, they actually were very much interested in possibly partnering with us in the future for the European market as well. So I think we are offering a slightly different model. We are backed up by blockchain technology. They don't use blockchain. We think we offer an enhanced product, probably, from what they are offering.
Yeah, I had a similar question, so I'll just add to it then. There are a lot of track and trace companies that do this with different products as well. So it would be interesting if you could elaborate on why those companies also couldn't come and offer cannabis as a part of their offering.
Yeah, we've looked at the market as well. Probably the most popular track and trace is food track and tracing. Is one of the most common ones. This is very much specific. This is to offer security. As our colleagues from Catoneco have explained, there is a very much unreliable market. Same as they were explaining, with the hemp, the problem we have is the THC levels cannot grow above 0.2 in Spain because of conditions, etc., etc. It's quite difficult to do that. So with this tool that we're offering, on top of just track and tracing, what we're offering is a solution where we actually can offer control on the levels of the plant. So it's very much focused on this plant in both segments, so hemp and cannabis, because the cannabis regulation is about to form.
Thanks.
No. On a go-to-market and customer engagement, how are you approaching the customers? Which is your pipeline, and what are your priorities?
So
Thank you.
We've already done a really intensive research before we came here. We've already spoken to agricultures who really were the ones that were explaining us the problems, and we found a big hole in terms of regulation and protection of producers and pretty much all the chain, but the producers are the ones paying the consequences. So actually, as soon as we've approached them, we've seen an amazing response. We're in various groups where actually all of the problems are fed to us. We've already approached them. They've already heard about Liberatio. We'll be on TV tomorrow. So we think we are already on the way of doing the customer attraction, which I think I'm answering your question, yeah? Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all the time we have for Q&A. Give it up for Liberatio. Now, who doesn't like some good old-fashioned manga action? Those heroes that we looked up to when we were kids, the thrill of getting left in a suspenseful cliffhanger. But the question is, how do we get those resources nowadays? Our next startup has a brilliant solution to just this question. Please welcome on stage one of our coolest startups tonight, Subcool.
2, 3.
Are you there? Okay.
Yes, of course. Here in Japan, at 4 a.m.
So yes, sending some positive vibes to you who is now joining us from Japan. Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Diana and I'm excited to present you our project today, Sapku. Sapku is a new way you're going to read manga. So Japanese culture is spreading everywhere. We eat Japanese food, we use Japanese, and we read Japanese. And manga animation industry is not an exception. According to Statista, current manga market is evaluated at 7 billion euros. But what is more interesting is that illegal manga market is even bigger. And here is our market opportunity. So there are several reasons for this to happen. First of all, readers couldn't find manga outside Japan in their mother tongue. There is lack of variety of manga available, and there is no digital unified solution to read manga online. On the other hand, publishers and manga creators have their own challenges. They couldn't reach customers outside Japan because there is no distribution channels. And it is very costly and inefficient for them to build it from scratch. This is why manga industry is losing 10 billion euros each year.
But no worry, here is Sapku. The publisher and the manga author can upload the contents to our platform, and our platform automatically translates with human correction by our partner Randy School. And the customer can read the content by their own mother tongue. And our business model is quite simple freemium model. The free user can reach to only 20% of the content, and if they charge 3.99 euro, they can reach to their all the contents. So where is our market? France. Why France? Because this is the biggest market in the Europe, 550 million euro by the paper books, which is 40% of the European market. The point is that 1/3 of the people read manga regularly in France. And there is no manga-oriented legal platform. So only Sapku can provide that platform. So the market size is quite huge as mentioned. 6.9 million people read manga regularly. And in the first year, we targeted 7,825 customers, which contribute to reach a break-even point in the first year. So who is our target customer, Diana?
So our target customer persona is Arthur Martin. He's French, he's 23 years old, and he reads manga on a regular basis. Usually he spends around 18 euros to read manga and buy paper books. So validation. We have validated our business idea with all main stakeholders. We have validated it with the customers by doing a lot of surveys, interviews. We are present in all these Facebook groups, which has around 2 million people in France reading and discussing manga on a regular basis. And we already have 150 people on our waiting list who are waiting for Sapku to go live. Also, we validated our idea with our partners. So we already received a letter of intent of Chico National Language School, who are going to proofread and translate our platform for free. And a few weeks ago, we received a letter of intent of Alamach NFT company, who are going to provide their NFT technology for us for free in order to track manga on the internet and to fight piracy. And last but not the least, publishers. So Yu is currently in Japan, and he's speaking with top executives of two biggest publishing houses in Japan, Kadokawa and Shueisha, and they already confirmed that they don't have operations in France right now, and they're interested in the technology. And for all this to happen, we are raising 250,000 euros, mainly used for marketing and to help you to develop our platform. Why you need to invest in our solution? Because it has three-dimensional scalability. We're going to have new markets. We're targeting Russia second because it has big manga community. We're going to add more and more content on our platform by signing agreements with new publishing houses and independent manga creators. And our platform is scalable for other comic genres. So we can work with Marvel and other comics. Yeah, meet Sapku. It's me, Diana, Russian, fintech, minoring in Asian languages and living in China for 2 years, and you, Japanese manga lover, and our software engineer who is going to show our amazing MVP right now.
So this is a great application which can't copy by illegal platformer, and with a recommendation system, we can provide good opportunity to our customers. The inside of our MVP, we already developed our great service which automatically detects the Japanese language inside of the bubble of the manga picture and combines the blank page and the translation from Japanese to French. Come on, come on, come on. Here it is. This is our French version.
Thank
Subcool. How subcool. Thank you very much.
Thank
This
you.
is our English version. Please check the title.
Thank you very much for the presentation. So I have a question around content. So basically, my understanding is that there's lots of pirates, no? As you are saying in this specific market. And so how are you going to differentiate your content? Is it only the language translation?
No, this is okay. Let me explain. It's okay. Okay. So actually, sir, because I need to contact many of the manga authors and the kinds of manga publisher directly to create new original contents for our platform. That's why I came back to Japan now, and I'm negotiating with them, especially for the big manga lover and big manga kind of author, the big name and the potential the manga author in Japan. So this is our great difference. And the translation is a key to contact the connect the author and the kind of user in France.
So if I'm understanding correctly, you are going to create your own content, no?
Exactly.
Similarly.
Not exactly. So the problem right now is that there is no online legal platform to read manga. The only legal platform is available in the bookstores, and people usually buy books from the publishing houses, but there is nothing legal online. So they couldn't find it legally. And this is why you is now speaking with publishing houses in Japan to allow us to use their content and share it online, because there is no legal solution for it online.
Because my question is basically, if there's no legal solution right now, and so users are basically accessing content for free, how are they going to go to pay for your content if there's no differentiator on the content other than
okay,
the
understood.
language?
So our main differentiation is great customer experience. So for example, you are paying for your Spotify subscription because you don't have advertisement, it's very easy to use, it has recommendation options. But for pirated content website, it doesn't exist. So this is why we're going to be a Netflix for manga, with nice interface, without advertisement, with recommendation like button and so on. Because for example, by interviewing our customers, they say that it takes a lot of time for them to find manga they like. But we're going to solve this problem. There will be no advertisement. There will be a nice experience. So this is how we're going to differentiate.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, and let me add one more thing. So we can provide our application on the Google app and our App Store. But other illegal content platformer cannot provide that application because they are illegal. So this is our great differences for that kind of platformer.
Very clear. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Subcool. You guys are definitely cooler than Subcool. How many here of you are aspiring artists and want to make it in the entertainment industry? You know what, forget it. I know the answer to that. You applied to come to IE Business School, meaning the only acting you will be doing is acting like you're paying attention to your lecturers. Well, ProdMe here is in the business of making sure that aspiring artists can make it and enter the business. Let's welcome them and find out how they're making this possible. Welcome, ProdMe.
1, 2, 3. We're going to change the way of producing in the world, and I'm going to tell you how. With Jessica, a casting director with over 15 years of experience, we created a casting agency in 2017. The main purpose of the agency is to select, contact, and negotiate the best talent for each character of a show. While performing the castings, we realized there were a lot of deficiencies, and we started looking for the best way to improve operations. Additionally, we received thousands and thousands of messages from actors all around the world, and they were all looking for the same thing, a place to send us their CV and content. So we created ProdMe, our solution, an online platform that will, first, ease the process of casting for producers with many tools that will save them time and money. And secondly, it will allow actors to show their talent and participate in castings. So now you're thinking, what's the business model here? Because this is what it's all about. We're all here to make money. We analyze existing platforms in the US that are all on a premium business model. This is not the appropriate business model for LATAM. And we're creating an Airbnb for talent. We're gonna charge talent or their managers only, and only if they're hired through the platform. We will also charge production companies a monthly fee for their premium accounts. And finally, we will charge third-party service providers. Our business model is cash flow positive. We will receive the money from production, keep it for a period of time, and then send it to the talent. How profitable are we going to be? Very. Our EBITDA margin rises at 70%, with revenues at 1.7 in year 3 and up to 4.5 in year 4. And this is only for LATAM. We are now ready to launch our platform before year end, and we are looking for a financial partner in order to first improve the platform and make it transactional, and secondly, to implement our aggressive marketing plan. Our competitive advantage is the casting agency that will be posting casting calls on the platform for projects on Netflix, on Amazon, on Apple TV, among others. We are already in talks with several partners in order to offer other services, such as the search of directors, producers, editors, or crews, but also production locations, equipment, lodging, or content. As an example, we already have a LATAM casting director that will specialize in commercials that will be also posting all her projects on the platform. Thank you all for being here today. And I guess the next time you hear about ProdMe, it will be on the news, as we believe our platform is meant to bring the old school production industry a new life. And you have two options: being part of it, or just telling your kids you heard our first speech. El video. Oh my God. Producer. No? Should be a video. Well. So whenever you need a producer, you can go on ProdMe. No? Should I press something? ¿Tengo que apretar algún botón o? Ah, ahí vamos. Bueno, venía con música.
Thank you so much. We really enjoyed it.
So that's a platform.
Hi. You mentioned the way the industry is structured in the US doesn't apply for LATAM. Why is that, and why is LATAM any different to what's going on in the US?
Because a LATAM actor is not going to pay $10 a month for a premium account. They prefer to have a free account and be charged only if they're hired. That's why all the US platforms are not working in LATAM.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ticket fraud is annoying, isn't it? Imagine you're going to a concert to see your favorite band and find out that your ticket is fake at the entrance. That's not going to be fun. Well, the good news is Encore is going to make sure no one will get fake tickets ever again. Please welcome Encore.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Say hi, Ron.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Ron's joining us in Israel.
Great. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're good.
Okay, let's start. We can do it. Since ever I came to Madrid, I always wanted to go to a classical game. So I just went to Google, typed a classical ticket, and got almost 3 million results. I just picked one randomly, went to Santiago Bernabeu just to figure it out at the gate that my ticket was fake. This problem not only occurred to me, 12% of the people buying tickets get scammed. That results that more than half of you just don't feel confident buying a resale ticket. The market is huge, projected to be more than $80 billion next year, 5 billion of them going out due to fraud costs like legal issue and customer service. And because you don't feel comfortable buying a resale ticket, you're just waiting to the next event and there is a hidden market. We have a solution. We want to assign ownership to that digital ticket. Today, the technology allows us to do that using NFT. So what is NFT? We'll take the digital ticket and store it inside our NFT token. While the ticket can be copied, the NFT is unique and can't. Instead of selling the ticket, we're going to sell our NFT and store it in the blockchain in a secure way. How does it work? Well, whenever we issue a ticket, we will assign this ticket our NFT token. Now, this token is going to be resold in the primary and secondary market, where the last fan will actually go to the event. Those entire transactions are stored inside the NFT and restored on the blockchain. We will provide an API with 3 main functions. First, minting an NFT token for every ticket sold. Second, reassign the ownership on the digital ticket after every resale. And third, the fan will verify the ticket in real time. Our business client will get a dashboard monetizing the secondary market data, and the fan will get an app to verify the ticket and just eliminate fraud. This is a win-win solution because the fan, you, get a verified and secure ticket, while the club get more control and data on the secondary market and can transfer that to profit. If you had a final product, I would buy it today. That is a quote from Raul, the head of global ticketing in FC Barcelona. Not only that, Raul told us that he wanted to do a pilot with us in the women's basketball team of Barcelona. We also talked with Daniel from Live Nation Ticketmaster. They sell 3 out of every 4 tickets. They sell 3 out of every 4 tickets in the US. They told us that they're actually looking for data on the secondary market to better dynamically price their ticket. We have a wide brand of entrepreneurs in the NFT and blockchain expert in our team. They help us to create this business model. We'll collect 2% per ticket for the NFT tech. And because of the NFT protocol, we can recall 5% of every resale in the secondary market, This is a new way to collect revenue, and all the people and clients we talk with really excited about that. Our go-to-market is really simple. We start with small venues, going to La Liga, the second and third division, and then to the big players. Because we have a low cost and high profit, we have a really good growth by venue the next 2 years. Our funding, we will start bootstrapping because we have the ability to develop the first pilot in-house. In next year, middle next year, we'll elevate the funding, and maybe we'll ask for money. We're happy to announce we got a letter of intent for DCL. They want to do a pilot with us in the next year. Looking at the competition, there are quite a couple of startups that are doing something similar. They all got a lot of money, but we at Anchor find ourselves in perfect position. We're not another platform of selling tickets. We're a SaaS company, and we're looking for businesses. This is a new market, NFT is booming, and they just go into the ticket industry. You can join us and to be the leadership. This is our amazing team: Jackson, a former consultant and industrial engineer; Roy, economist and team manager, who worked years in the finance ministry; and myself, with bachelor and master in computer science and a group leader in the Israeli high tech. We are Anchor. Thank you.
I'll be happy to take your questions. Yeah. First one.
Thanks, guys. Great job. Great presentation. Quick one. How would, as a user, if I were to buy a ticket, how would my customer journey look like? And would I need to have a wallet in order to have that NFT?
Right. So, Ron, I'll take this one. So, as of right now, no. Right? Is what we want to do is business to business. We want to go to the business and say, keep your operations the same. Right? We want to be the back end and not necessarily the front. That being said, we know NFTs has a huge upside going forward, right? I mean, there's smart NFTs with smart contracts that are changing dynamically what was possible, right? So we know that for the consumer, there's a huge upside, but for the first few months, we want to just focus on the fraud aspect.
Hi, thank you. How compatible is your system with the current secondary market infrastructure? So what do brokers think about this, like via GoGo, for instance? And does it work with them as well? Or
right,
you're just working with the primary market of tickets issuing?
So we spoke to Live Nation, who's the primary market, right? We also spoke to a broker, an independent broker, not a like a secondary market big guy. And he was talking about how this would be great because what it does is it ensures you're buying a safe ticket, right? So if they buy a ticket from the primary market and then go to resell it in the secondary market and it turns out to be fake, they're the ones hurting ultimately, you know. So it would be the revenue is coming from the secondary market, but they're getting a more secure product. So it's not, we know the ticket industry is very competitive. We don't want to, come out and sell tickets and fight the secondary market specifically, right? But they're getting a very secure ticket. So that answer your question?
Do you know the split between, in terms of market size between primary and secondary markets?
Sure, it's $80 billion for the primary market, and it's about a third of that for the secondary market. So the secondary market right now is a huge market, but it doesn't add any value to the ticket itself, right? It provides liquidity for the market, but other than that, the end consumer doesn't get anything.
Thanks.
You sure, Nick?
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Amazing presentation, amazing product.
Thank you.
My question is very simple. So there's a lot of hype around NFTs right now, but the concept of tokenization is not new at all.
Yeah.
So tokens have been there for a while. Technology is accessible. It's even, let's say, pricing-wise accessible. Why do you think there's no one doing exactly what you're suggesting to do?
So there are people doing it. Like in our competition, right? Everything's relatively new. So everyone's kind of a startup. but they're getting funded, right? And NFTs are just blowing up right now. Tokenization is a little different, right, than NFTs. NFTs is a good, the technology works really well for tickets specifically, because it's about ownership of a product, right? And where a token is more, it can be financial or you can manipulate it. That being said, a lot of the football clubs are having their own tokens. I know Manchester City last week, some people are getting paid with tokens. So we view, the integration of maybe a football club's token and our NFTs as something down the line that's really possible.
So you mean that it's actually the NFT technology that made it possible, and maybe with the traditional tokens, let's say, it was not exactly possible as you are proposing it?
Sorry, I missed.
So it's just the NFTs, the breaking through technology to make it possible?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
I also think that the new blockchain like Solana and other low cost of NFT minting that make it more visible in the ticket industry.
Yeah, understood. Thank you.
Jury, thank you for your questions. That is all the time we have. Give a good round of applause, please.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, our last team of the night is here to provide a solution to this question. Please welcome on stage Clean Bowls.
Can you please put your hands up if you've been in this situation? Okay, so the rest are being shy because I'm pretty sure that most all of us consider cleaning products somehow a problem. Because when you have to buy cleaning products, shopping becomes really heavy and bulky. And also, storage and recycling are pretty complex due to the amount and size of plastic bottles required to clean. And also, when you're at the supermarket, you have to remember which product you have to buy and when. All these problems have a really small, sustainable, simple to use, and easy to access solution. We skipped the video. There was a demonstration video, so, well, Clean Bowls, this is the solution. With this, you just need this simple tablet, our reusable bottle, and tap water to solve all of your problems. In fact, Clean Bowls increases convenience in matter of transport and storage thanks to the small size and light weight of our product. Clean Bowls reduces single-use plastic bottles and eliminates 100% recycling issues. And also, we want to help the planet. In fact, we do it thanks to the drastic reduction of carbon footprint associated with transporting huge volumes of water and eliminating single-use plastic bottles. And last but not least, you can stop worrying. In fact, thanks to our e-commerce and subscription solution, Clean Bowls makes shopping tremendously easy and quick without giving up to high quality. And now, my colleague Jesus will talk about the market.
Thank you, Marta. Well, to validate our solution, we handled 300 samples and created several groups, obtained positive feedback, and all of them affirm that they would like to buy Clean Bowls. So if we analyze the market, first we will get into the Spanish cleaning products market. Then we will expand abroad, and finally we will diversify our portfolio, including household products, for a final market of more than 11,000 million. We are facing a huge and highly fragmented market in which we can find our place as reference for convenience and sustainability. Although the entry barriers are low in a much more mature market, such as the American, the biggest producers have remained on the sidelines. If in the future they decide to enter, once we are positioned as a reference in this product format, we will become a facilitator between them and the final customers. Now, Emmanuel will explain the business model.
Thank you, Jesus. Okay, our business model will include our own tablet manufacturing and packaging processes, and we will outsource the manufacturing of our reusable bottles. Both tablets and bottles will be available in different sizes to match every customer needs and optimize storage and consumption of water and product. Our sales channels includes our own web store with our great subscription program, as well as marketplaces and web stores. As Jesus explained before, we will scale up our business, developing new products and reaching other countries, where the agreements previously reached in Spain with big chain supermarkets will be crucial. Finally, we really believe the moment is now, so we must give our products great visibility and reduce time to market as much as we can. To make this possible, we're looking to raise 500,000 euros to set up the manufacturing process and make as much noise as possible to reach Spanish e-commerce market. Then we will go to supermarkets and scale up in the following years. We don't want to leave without introducing the wonderful team that has made this project a reality with a pretty sustainable and small solution, which brings huge advantages for both customers and our planet. Thanks so much for your time, and welcome
to the
Clean Revolution. We are sorry, but we had a video that didn't play well. So sorry about that.
Congratulations on the presentation. I have a question around the competitors' landscape. I'm not a specialist in cleaning products, but I know one of your competitors could be Concentralia. Basically, my understanding of your solution is there's two things. First, it's small, and the second thing is that most cleaning products are mainly made of water, no? And so you're basically concentrating the product. So there's this company that sells the same thing, but in a bottle. And so you basically reuse the content. So your advantage would be the packaging. But, and my question here is, what marketing channels are you going to use? Because I found this Concentralia product through an Instagrammer. So I don't know if you follow the home edit or this type of, and how are you going to be doing the marketing campaign?
Well, our product is different because first of all, our multi-channel distribution, and second, because we've developed the product not for eco customers, but we developed the product to make it easy for customers to be eco. So that's the main difference between our competitors and Cleanballs.
We would start pushing mainly the e-commerce and the subscription solution, and the idea is in the year 2 to go into supermarkets. So the idea is to push really hard before with the online, and then offline, including TV and exterior.
And in terms of sustainability, so the packaging obviously is more sustainable, and my question is around the components of the balls. So is it natural products?
Yeah, well, right now we are making our first samples. We have to improve our formulation. We have no plastics, we have no parabens. We're trying to do everything natural. For sure, we have to improve that way. But even if the main manufacturers will get for that product, we have some competitors in Spain and most in the US. At least they are covering their tablets with plastic films. Those plastic films, you never know where they go. But when you just take it to the water, they go under the water, and they are microplastics. They said that they are compostable or biodegradable, but that means 150 years to really disappear. So we have no time for that.
Thank you.
Jury, I'm really sorry, but the period for Q&A has ended,
Yes,
unfortunately.
one more question is about funding. Which are your funding needs, and how are you going, how do you split that between whatever technology, doing operations, whatever? Thank you.
We're looking to raise 500,000 first year. Most of it is going to go to marketing, to make a boost and to make the brand so that we can give Cleanbox high visibility in the market. And on the second year, we're going to ask for 800,000 to enter in the Spanish supermarkets and also for the following years to scale up the product.
All right, I'm afraid that is all the time that we have for now, but give it up for our Thank Well, ladies and gentlemen, that brings a wrap to the period of pitching for the finalists of IE Venture Day 2021. Congratulations to all of the team, and thank you for sticking with us. At this point, we would like to ask the audience to remain seated, as we will now proceed to the period of deliberation for the jury. Jury, we ask of you that you please connect all your notes and step onto the back of the stage to carry out these deliberations. We'll be right back with you in 15 minutes.
So let's pray during the please do thank you. 1, 2, 3, and.
All right, let's hear it for the band again. Come on. Venture Days would never be the same without you guys.
It's our 8th tradition.
This is their 8th Venture Day?
Yeah.
Wow. How much money have we spent on that? No. Okay. Juanjo Guamis, Mr. Chairman. So we have here with us Juanjo Guamis, the chairman of the Entrepreneurship Center, also the CFO of IE University, the money man. And next to him is Rashida Justo, who is the chair, the academic chair of the entrepreneurship faculty of the school. Okay. No, you're going to do the honors here. So, yeah, we're going to start with third place. Right? Third place. We got to get the trophy. We got to get the trophy.
Revive.
Revive. Woo! Okay, and now Rashida, you're going to announce the number 2 winner.
Anchor?
Encore, yes. Woo!
Send me a picture.
And now, the winner of the first Venture Day in the Tower 2021 is
Subcool.
Woo!
So, yeah, I'm very grateful to be here. And I mean, MBA was an amazing experience because in IE, I developed a lot of skills, and Startup Lab was amazing, and Venture Lab was amazing. And thank you all for this to happen. I really enjoy working on the subcool with you. And we heard it a lot of times that if you follow the passion and if you fall in love with your customer problem, you will succeed. And we were enjoying a lot working on this project. So, and here is the result. Thank you so much. And thank you for musicians for your support. I mean, you're amazing.
Okay, now we want all the winners to come in. Stay, Diana. By category, the winner of the IMBA Award is Subcool.
Thank you very much.
The winner of the MIM is Nomi. Come on up.
Right now. Right now.
Stay up here. Stay up here. The winner for HST is The Movement. Is anybody from The Movement here? No. And finally, the winner for undergraduates, Share the Story. And now the last award is for the #1 alumni team, Mikasa. Okay, before we give out the sustainability award, can we get, we got some cool here, Anchor and Revive, come on up on stage as well. So we get everybody here. We're gonna take a group picture. Okay, and now for the award for the #1 sustainable project. The Sustainability Award, which is normally given by Isabel Alcázar, who can't be with us here tonight, is going to be given by Rashida Justo. And that award goes to...
Limballs.
Let me quickly explain what the prize is about. This is an ecosystem. It's self-sustaining ecosystem. So you only need to water it once a year, twice a year, every 6 months, and it sustains itself.
All right, everybody, let's get over here for a group picture. Tall ones in the back. Bring all your awards up here. Let's get a group picture. Group picture, guys. All right, look at the camera, everybody. Look at the camera. All right, thank you, everybody. Okay, 2 minutes. The only time between you and the booze next door is 2 minutes. But before we go, I think we need to say a few thank yous. And the first big thank you is for Anik for organizing this thing today. On her title, it says Deputy Director of the Venture Lab, but she does all the work. We all know that. We also want to thank the incredible jury. You know, time is money, and they spent a lot of time today. So thank you. A big hand for the jury. But also, none of this would have been possible without the amazing fellows. Let's stand up, all the fellows, raise your hand. All the fellows, the Venture Network fellows. And I want to give a special thank you. Allison, are you here? Allison, come on up. Allison, come on up. She doesn't want to come on up. Allison and I have been together for many years doing the Venture Day and the Venture Lab. And I want to make a special recognition for Allison and all her hard work. Thank you, Allison. And finally, you know that the person that really makes sure that everything happens is Carmen Corraiz. Carmen? Carmen is going to be celebrating her 40th anniversary at IE next year. So that is going to be, she could write a novel about this place. Yeah, better not. In any case, thank you everybody for coming today. I mean, this has been amazing. I think we didn't expect, we had over 550 people here show up at one point. So this is the most we've ever gathered for a Venture Day. And now I think it's time to have a good time, right? And Nick, you have something you want to say?
No, just thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and we look forward to seeing you again in the summer. Thank you.
Okay. Let's go.
Something's gotta change around here. Gotta move a mountain. Standing outside of the door, feeling out the window. Standing out here in the cold, running down to zero. Come on, come on, come on, come on, you can move a mountain. Come on, come on, come on, come on, move it if you want it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, you can move a mountain. Come on, come on, come on, come on, move it if you want it. Come on, you don't need to Life can get out of hand when you never planned it. Life can get out of hand, try to move a mountain. Something I like to do, but no one's always waiting. Something you just can't leave alone, have a way of changing. Come on, come on.